Power is desired by all, but when this power is not in your control, it becomes your greatest weakness. It can make you do things you wouldn't even want to see in your worst nightmare. Such was the power the Thunder Wolf had. She was capable of killing children, mothers, innocent people with a blink of an eye, but the consequences had to be faced by the human part of her. The guilt, the pain of seeing dead bodies, the silence after death were all faced by the human part of the Thunder Wolf. She was once a naive, innocent, pure-hearted girl who only liked to spread smiles, but the way the world treated her made her an ice-cold person with no emotions. She was immune to all emotions except one, and that was anger. This emotion, when let loose, unleashed the beast inside her, and whatever happened after it was not under her control. She had eyes as black as night, body as perfect as a supermodel, abs as defined as that of a fighter. The human had no power, she only had skills of a deadly hunter which she acquired to survive in this wicked world. All the powers were with her wolf, who she generally kept in control. She was that rogue who was banished from her pack for something she never did. She was that daughter who was hated for being a weakling and disgraced to her parents. She was that sister who was hated for killing her younger sister. She was that Omega who was bullied for being a murderer and not shifting at the right age. And lastly, she was that mate who was rejected by the Alpha for being weak, pathetic, and a disgrace. She was none other than Aleka, aka the Thunder Wolf. Chapter 1. The Most Wanted, 8:30 a.m., 2nd November 2017, Werewolf Council Room, Juneau, Alaska. On the bench sat the 10 eldest members of the werewolf community. Around 100 members from packs all around the world were seated in the room, and on the head seat sat the king of werewolves, Aaron Alastair King. The last attack was 3 days back. The details are: pack name Blue Moon, alpha name Caleb Reynolds, pack members 120, survivors none, reason unknown, time 12:46 a.m., duration of attack 8 minutes. Mode of destruction, fire, and some unknown force. One person presented the case. I think this is Thunderwolf again. The details are similar to his last attack. One council member said, "Yes, I agree he is the one behind this. But the question is, what do we do about him? All the packs are living under the fear of getting attacked at any time. We need to do something about him. He is threatening our very existence." The other elder said, "But no one has ever seen him. It's next to impossible to catch him. Also, who have seen him die the next minute? What can we do exactly?" The first elder asked, "We need to predict his attack beforehand and be prepared. Maybe then we can attack him with our full force and bring him down," another elder said. "Alpha King, what do you suggest?" the first elder asked. The king was in deep thought. The question brought him out of his trance. This wolf is not a normal wolf. We are talking about the most powerful wolf in the world. We have no idea of his strengths and weaknesses. Planning on attacking him is a suicidal plan. Also, there is no definite pattern of his attacks. Predicting his next attack is impossible. This was his third attack in 2 years, so I think we should just rest the case. But Alpha, we cannot allow him to roam around freely, killing anyone he wishes to, one elder said. My apologies, Elder Derek, but I don't think we can do anything. We won't even know who we are catching. No one has seen his wolf part, let alone his human part. I can't waste my resources to locate someone who is invisible as the wind, the king said. All the people in the hall had a serious look on their face. They agreed with the Alpha and felt helpless. I suggest we should declare him the most wanted wolf and pass the order of kill at sight, one elder suggested. Others hummed in response. Everyone looked at the king for his final decision. I guess that this is the only thing we can do then. I agree to your decision, elders. Voting was done, and this order was passed. The council was dismissed, and all people went back with the fear of Thunderwolf in their hearts, praying to the moon goddess to keep them safe from this havoc and beast of nature. Everyone left except the Alpha King. He was still seated on his seat in deep thought. He felt a hand on his shoulder to see his best friend Daniel Gray looking at him. Hey man, what are you so tensed about? Nothing, Dan. It's just that I feel helpless right now. I am the Alpha King, for God's sake, and I can't even protect my own people from this Thunderwolf. If I ever come across this Thunderwolf, I swear I'll give him a very, very painful death. 100 times worse than the pain he gave to my people. Aaron, just loosen up, okay? Don't be stressed. These wrinkles on your forehead don't suit your handsome face. You look like a pug, man, Daniel said, laughing and imagining his friend with a pug's face with wrinkled lines on his forehead. Aaron's lips formed into a smile. A pug? Seriously, man. I have to admit you have some vivid imagination skills, and your jokes are just so lame, like you blabber just whatever comes to your mind. Hey, don't you dare question my joking skills. See, there is this wide smile on your face because of my joke. So wasn't my joke a joke, huh? Yeah, WHATEVER floats your boat. Now let's go. Pack House is a 5-hour drive from here. We have to reach before dawn. Why are you in a hurry? I should be in a hurry. Otherwise, Emma will make me sleep on the couch. Her deadline is at 6 o'clock. You know she is tracking me every hour. Today also she wants me to directly come home from this meeting. No roaming around and befriending other girls. Mates can be really bossy and possessive sometimes. On hearing the word mate, Aaron's smile fell. He felt a sudden pain in his heart, and his wolf groaned in pain. Daniel just realized his mistake on seeing his friend's face. Aaron's mate was a sensitive topic for both of them. I am sorry. It's okay, Dan. Let's get going, Aaron said, sitting on the driver's seat. But Daniel knew better, that it was not at all okay. He followed his friend and sat on the passenger seat, thinking about his alpha's mate, who was also his one and only sister, Aleka's Pav. I was passing through no man's land. This land was not claimed by any pack, and the only ones I may find here are rogues. Normally wolves are afraid of them, but me, I am not afraid of anything except my one strength. It was really cold here, and I need to make some arrangements for the night. I was searching for some sticks when I heard footsteps approaching me. I don't have any special hearing skills like other werewolves. My human resembles any other normal humans in all respects. My werewolf doesn't speak to me unlike other werewolves, and neither do I smell like one. I am completely human, unless I decide to let out my wolf, which I never want to. Instead of running, I stood my ground and continued my search. The footsteps stopped behind me, and I analyzed there were 2 rogues behind me. On seeing me, they shifted into their human form. Look, John, who we got here, one said to another. I turned around to face them. Wow, what's a beauty like you doing here? The human city is nearly 50 kilometers from here, sweetheart. I am a wanderer, but I guess I wandered a bit too far this time. They smiled at my reply and introduced themselves to me. One was John, and the other one was Chris. I told them that what I was doing, and they decided to help me. We will love to take some rest and enjoy your company, if you don't mind. Well, they looked like good people, and I myself will enjoy some company, so why not? Sure, they smiled, and we lit a fire and sat around it. They were silent, and I knew they were talking through the mind link. I guess you were talking good things about me, I said, raising an eyebrow. Huh? We are not talking sweetheart, John said. I meant mind linking. You know, they replied together and had a similar shocked expression on their faces. Yeah, I was myself in a pack once. Now you can consider me a rogue just like you. We are more similar than you thought, I said with a smile. Oh, thank God, otherwise it would have been awkward. We haven't been in a human's company since long, replied Chris, rubbing his neck in awkwardness. We continued to talk for the next few hours, but then they asked me that one question, which reopened those deep wounds I have been trying to stitch since last 5 years. So have you found your mate? Was the question, and I went silent. They sensed my uneasiness, and John said, You don't need to answer that. It was personal, and we just met, so. No, that's all right. He was the alpha of my pack, and he rejected me 5 years back. But I guess he was right. Who would want a human as a mate? I am not Luna material anyways. Hey girl, why do you say something like that? Anyone would be lucky to have a mate like you. He must be blind to not realize that, and I am sure he is regretting it, John said. We continued to talk for a few more minutes and then decided to call of the night. I was trying to sleep, but old memories disturbed my mind. Those images were very difficult to erase. Flashback 15 years back. I and my sister were playing hide and seek in the woods. I was hiding and she was finding me. I was hiding in the bark of the tree and she was coming my way. She was meters away when I saw something black block my view of her. There stood a black wolf growling at my sister. I was in a shocked state to even move a muscle, and before I could even blink an eye, he lunged at her, and I screamed in fear. Nova! The wolf abruptly stopped and turned around to look at me. It had blood-red eyes, and never had I seen such a scary wolf. It started taking small steps towards me. I closed my eyes, fearing my death, but it never came. Instead, what I saw on opening my eyes was worse than death. My sister Nova had jumped on his back to stop him, and he tore her tiny body into pieces. My pack members were near. The scary wolf took a last glance at me and ran away. The sight I saw that night still haunts me. My pack members blamed me for her death. They said I should have died that day instead of her. They said I was weak to protect her. Their words didn't matter. The only thing that mattered was that I will never see my Nova again. Flashback over. I jerked awake to see dark forest surrounding me. My heart calmed down, and I realized my forehead was sweating and my eyes were wet. I continued to twist and turn, but sleep was not coming. The only thing that was coming were flashbacks from my life, which were my worst nightmares. Nightmare. Memory 1. You know, she didn't shift on her 18th birthday. I guess she will always be a weak human. A girl whispered. That's good news. Now we'll have a new Omega to listen to our orders. The other replied, and they laughed, looking at me. Their words didn't matter, but ones whose did matter broke me piece by piece. Memory 2. You know you deserve this for what you did to Nova. This is God's way of repaying you, and even He doesn't love you. You are truly a disgrace to our beta rank. That's why Mom and Dad have always hated you. My brother said to me with hatred and disgust and walked past me, pushing my shoulder. Memory 3. We looked into each other's eyes, and I knew he was my mate. Within seconds, love for his mate was replaced by hatred. You can't be my mate. This must be a sick joke, a pathetic, weak human. No, this can't happen. You can't be her. I have to reject. No, Alpha, please don't even say that word. I'll be a good mate, I promise. Just give me a chance. Please, just one chance. Memory 4. Our Luna was murdered in cold blood yesterday, and no one was found at the site of murder except Aleka Gray. All the pieces of evidence accuse her of the murder, and it will be Alpha's decision to sign her death sentence or to banish her from all packs. The Alpha i.e. my mate's father spoke. I have decided to banish her. She will be leaving today at 12. Aleka was taken to the dungeons with chains around her hands. On her way, she kept on pleading for her innocence. Please, believe me, I didn't kill her. There was another wolf there. He had red eyes. Please just believe me. She said, begging everyone and anyone to trust her, but they all were looking at her with looks of betrayal and hate. They all wanted to kill her for killing their Luna. She dropped at the feet of her mate, begging him to trust her, begging him to stop him from dying, as any girl who went rogue has never ever survived the evil world outside. But her mate stood still like a statue, not able to believe that his lifeline, his mother, was no more. Aleka wanted him to say something, say anything, but what he spoke made Aleka to lose her struggles and turned her ice cold. I, the next Alpha of this pack, reject you, Aleka Gray, as my mate. Aleka fell on the floor, but not a single cry of pain escaped her lips. Her inside was screaming, but her outside became hard as ice. They dragged her roughly out of the decision room, and the next day she was thrown out of her pack into the dangerous world with no one at her side. Nightmare over. These were the worst memories of her life. Seeing them all at once made her realize how pathetic and weak she was back then. Her past had made her what she is now. A headstrong woman with no place for emotions, friendship, and relationships. The only purpose she had in life was to find that black wolf with red eyes and avenge the death of her ex-Luna and her sister Nova. My whole night went like that, and with the first rays of sun, I picked up my backpack and was ready to go. After exchanging goodbyes with Chris and John, I started my search to the next pack. Chris and John were a good company, and we got along well. They even asked me to join them, but I travel alone. Revenge for that red-eyed wolf was my only purpose in life, and I was the lone traveler on this road of revenge. This purpose only kept me alive for so many years. Otherwise, I would have died the first time a pack of 10 rogues attacked me after I was banished. Everyone at my pack must think that I am dead, as no she-rogue can survive for 5 years. But they didn't know that I was not just an ordinary rogue she-wolf. I was the legendary Thunder Wolf. Aaron's Pav. I was sitting in my office surrounded by papers when I see Dad enter my office. I have been nothing but patient with you, son, but now I need you to decide, he said with authority. What are you talking about, Dad? I said, still doing my work, paying little attention to what he was saying. You know really well what I am talking about. It's been 3 long years, and you still have no queen by your side. People have started talking about it, doubting if they will ever have a queen. I gave you long enough time to overcome what happened in the past, but now it's high time now, son. I was really tired, not in the mood to carry forward this talk. Just why can't I rule without a queen? Dad, you already know my answer. Please just leave me alone. No, son, not this time. So many women of high rank and status have proposed you, but you being you, didn't even acknowledge them. I need you to forget about Aleka and find a suitable queen for you. Aleka. Her name alone sends some weird thrills in my spine. I closed my eyes to see her beautiful face in front of me, her smooth black hair, her innocent eyes, if only she was that innocent. Appearances are truly deceptive. Her appearance is the best epitome of that. I have hated her for not protecting her sister. I have hated her for not shifting. I have hated her for being my mate, and I will always hate her for killing my mother. Still, I couldn't find someone to replace her. I couldn't see someone else as the queen when she is my mate. Aleka, just why did you make my life so difficult? If only you didn't kill my mother, I could have accepted you. To be honest, after giving you a chance, you proved your worth and I was ready to accept you. But then I saw you covered in my mother's blood. Just why did you do it, Aleka? Why? Son, your murderer mate, Aleka, is dead. She got what she deserved, so stop thinking about her. I am sure you will find a much better girl than her. Just open your eyes and give them a chance. Dead. Aleka. No. This thought only makes me mad. She couldn't have died. I surely hated her, but still, I wanted to see her every day. I wanted to see those beautiful eyes looking at me. I wanted to smell her peach blossom fragrance. I wanted to feel her smooth, velvety skin. Everyone says the facts. They say no female wolf has ever survived being a rogue, let alone a human. But I just couldn't and didn't wanted to admit it. Aaron, you are not just an alpha, you are the king of werewolves. You have some responsibilities towards your people. You have to find a suitable queen, not for our pack or for yourself, but for the entire kingdom. I have no choice. Dad is right. I have to do this for my people. I have to replace Aleka. I have to let her go. Okay, Dad, just give me some time. Dad hugged me and smiled. I knew you would be a great king. And he left. I rubbed my temples and closed my eyes. Please, Alpha, trust me. I didn't kill her. Please believe me. I beg of you. I will die. Save me. I could still hear her cries in my ears. I could still see her pleading eyes overflowing with tears. I could still see her devastated state. This memory has haunted me multiple times in these 5 years. I could still remember seeing her falling near my feet on getting rejected. I still remember that cold look on her face. I still remember guards dragging away her body, which looked lifeless, and that was the last time I saw her. Aaron, Angela is nowhere to be found. Please do something. I think she crossed the border. Daniel said through the mind link. Never have I ever heard him so worried. But then again, no one was as special as his 4-year-old daughter, Angela. Dan, calm down. We'll find her. With this, I mind linked all my warriors to search for her. I called all the neighboring alphas to inform them about Angela. She would be safe if she went there, but I cannot say the same for my southernmost territory. It was no man's land and was mostly inhabited by rogues. There was no one to protect her there. So me and Dan gathered our warriors and headed towards the south. Aleka's Pav. Aleka's Pav. I freshened myself up near the stream, placed my silver knives on the sides of my boots, pulling up my black hoodie over my face and placing my bow and arrows on my back, ready for my journey. I had only covered a few meters when I heard a child crying and some people laughing near her. I continued my journey, ignoring her cries, but after a few steps, something was pricking my conscience. I knew what it was. My heart wanted to help her, but my brain stated otherwise. I turned around thinking that I'll help her quickly and return back to my journey. When I went near the voices, I saw a beautiful little girl with large green eyes crying and 3 rogues surrounded her. "Poor baby is crying. Didn't your mother told you not to go to the forest alone?" One of them said, mocking her crying state. The other one went towards her and held her beautiful golden locks in his hand and started sniffing them. Delicious. Guys, we are going to have a fest today." She took a step back. Her foot got stuck in a rock and she fell back, bruising her elbow. They again started laughing at her helpless state. I stepped forward and picked her tiny body up from her arm with my left hand. You know, scaring a child is not an act of bravery, but that of cowardiness. The laughter died down and all 3 of them were now staring at me, irritated. "Give back the child and we'll spear your life, tiny rogue." The girl clinged to my leg and hid herself behind me. She hugged to my leg like her life was dependent on it, which was technically true in this scenario. "I think you can find something else for your feast. She is not going anywhere near you." "Do you have a death wish, rogue? There is no chance of you winning against us 3. I unlocked the girl's hands from my leg and gave her a slight push backwards with my left hand. I didn't want to get her hurt. "Try me," I said with a serious look, and then 2 of them jumped at me. I was fast to dodge the attack of one and plunge my knife into other one's chest. He fell on the ground, growling in pain. One of the other tried to escape, but I pulled out my arrow and aimed at his back, hitting bullseye. Now only one was left. Suddenly he jumped on my back and was ready to slash my throat with his claws. When I pushed him back with full force, hitting his body at the tree behind and stabbing my knife in his heart, he howled loudly. I knew from experience that this was not just a howl of pain, but also a howl of calling. I went towards the small girl. Her eyes were closed and she was shaking with fear. I touched her shoulder and she flinched. On realizing it's me, she jumped and threw her body at me, hugging me. I haven't had a hug in a long time, and it felt weird, but good at the same time. I pulled her back and looked into her eyes, commanding her. "Turn back and go to your pack. Whatever happens, don't stop and turn around. Don't stop till you see someone you know. Okay?" She nodded, but her feet were not moving. I gave her a slight push and she started walking to safe grounds. But suddenly, she stopped and turned around. I understood her look. She didn't want to leave me. She wanted me to come with her. But that was not possible. I said, "Don't look back. Just go," I said, raising my voice, and she flinched with my harsh and rude tone. I know I shouldn't be rude and cold to her, but this is just the way I am. Now gone is that Aleka who considered even a single curse to be a sin. She was reluctant, but she turned back and continued to take small baby steps towards her pack borders. I knew she must belong to the pack, which is just 400 meters away from here, and then she'll be safe. I stood there in the clearing, waiting for other rogues to come. The rogue which died made a howling call, meaning that he called the other rogues here. I wouldn't let them reach her. I will be like a barrier, and they would have to kill me to pass through to teach the innocent child. Bring it on, rogues. A few minutes later, I saw 10 wolves coming my way. I may have fought 7 alone, but today I think this will be record-breaking. I pulled my wolfsbane-laden arrow and attacked 2 of them on their way. 6 wolves attacked me, all at once. I took my knives in both my hands and started slashing them. Soon their brown fur has turned red with blood. They may have long claws, but I had silver knives. I got some claw marks on my back and few on my forehead, making blood drops to fall on my eyes, tracing my eyebrows. But they didn't stop me. Within minutes, they all were lying dead on the floor except one. I could see him running towards the direction she came. I couldn't catch him with my human, but I could surely stop him. I followed him, and on getting a perfect aim, I released the arrow, hitting his calf. He cried in pain and fell down. I approached him to end this matter for once, when I heard large number of footsteps coming towards my way. Shh. I didn't realize when I crossed the border, and now I was standing in a pack territory. Rogues like me are killed at sight, and me being a banished wolf worsens the situation. If I get caught, there was no way I'll escape death. So much for helping that child. But I hope she reached her parents safely. Otherwise, all this will be in vain. The rogue I just stopped was trying to run even with a broken leg. I turned around to run, but I was too late. 4 pack wolves blocked my way, and when I turned around, nearly 15 wolves were standing, daring me to take another step further. Suddenly, a wolf changed into a blonde with green eyes and body size twice as mine. He must be a gamma, considering his authority, as he was waiting for his beta or alpha's order. He towered over me, but I refused to show fear. Well, if I am going to die, only why not die a fearless death? He grabbed my arms and pushed them behind me, holding me in a death grip. My arms were ready to come out of their sockets, and I was feeling excruciating pain, but I refused to show it. I had a high tolerance of pain, and this was nothing compared to what I feel when I shift into my wolf. Count your last minutes, rogue. Once the alpha comes here, you are dead. Well, thank you, Mr. Obvious, I said, rolling my eyes. As if I didn't know this already. His anger intensified, and he further tightened his grip, if that was even possible. If I run right now and get caught, they will kill me this instant. But if the alpha arrives, he will put me in a dungeon and give me a painful death, so why not go for the former option? Also, the borders were only few meters away. If I could cross it, I was free. I summoned all my strength and back-kicked the gamma with my boot's heel. His grip loosened a bit, and I nudged my elbow into his stomach. Taking this as an opportunity, I made a run towards the border, slashing the arm of the pack wolf who tried to stop me, with the knife in my pocket. I was just a foot away from the border when I felt something big and heavy smash into me, throwing my tiny body high above in the air, hitting the bark of a tree. I could feel millions of needles pricking at my back as my body slid down the bark. My earlier claw wounds opened up, and I could feel my shirt soaking and getting wet in blood. I managed to open my eyes to see a tall frame coming towards me. He had those rarest of rare green eyes, which were glaring at me with hatred. On just staring at his eyes, I knew who he was. In these long 5 years, he has changed to be a beautiful man with ripping muscles and handsome face. He was having a dangerous and deadly aura around him, which was not there before. I was so happy seeing him that for once I forgot what my body was feeling right now. All the pain I felt subdued, and the next second I know he was holding my neck and choking me. "You filthy rogue! How dare you touch my daughter? I'll bloody kill you." The only thing I could concentrate on was that he had a daughter. My brother found his mate and has a daughter. Wow, I was so happy that even though he was trying to choke me, I passed him a genuine smile. His anger aggravated on seeing my smile, and he increased the pressure on my neck, making it difficult for me to breathe. While doing this, my head fell back and the hood covering my eyes came down. He looked into my eyes, and suddenly his grip on my neck loosened. I knew he would recognize my eyes. My eyes were the rarest, not because they were pupil or green or gray, but because they were pure black. They were so black that you couldn't distinguish between my orbs and irises, as black as the night with dark moon lunar phase. "Dan, why?" I managed to say in my broken voice with my damaged vocal cords. I was the only one who called him Danny, and I knew now he will recognize his little sister. His hand left my neck, and he stood there frozen, staring at my face. "Dan, what is wrong with you? Just kill it!" That voice. That's the voice that invaded my dreams so many times. That's the voice that rejected me. That's the voice which still sends shiver into my spine. That's the voice which I still consider to be the most beautiful in the world. I lifted my gaze to see him coming towards me. Those baby blue eyes were still the same, cold yet beautiful. His face was now thinner, with a chiseled and defined jawline. His body was now as defined as a model, and his aura was now more powerful and deadly than before. I was so lost in his eyes that I didn't see but could only feel a tearing, unendurable, and insufferable pain in my stomach. "No!" Daniel screamed, but it was too late. I touched my hand near my stomach to see a knife rooted into it. On touching its handle, my hand came in contact with his hand, and sparks flew from our touch. He jolted his hand back, and the anger, hate on his face got replaced by worry, guilt, and fear. "L-E-K," he asked in a low, fearful, and trembling voice. I was happy to see his face. He resembled a Greek god, and by seeing him, I saw my heaven before I die. I just wanted to look at him for a bit more, but my eyes and body were betraying me. I could feel his soft hands cut my face. I could feel those beautiful sparks emerging from every inch of skin he touched. I was seeing pain and fear in his eyes. I didn't want to see him like this. I wanted him to smile. So gathering all my energy, I passed him a weak smile and replied, "Hi, at E." And with this beautiful sight in front of me, I drift into a peaceful sleep. Aaron's Pav. We were heading towards the southern borders when we saw the shadow of a small figure coming towards us. On getting closer, we realized that it was Angela. She had dried tears on her cheeks, and her eyes were red from crying. Her elbows were bruised, and she had a scared look on her face. On seeing us, she fastened her footsteps and came running towards us. In a swift movement, Dan picked her up and hugged her. Thank God she was safe. I don't know how, but she was like a magnet of love. Everyone loved her for her innocence and pure heart, and I was no exception. Emma came running towards us on seeing Angela. She gave her kisses all over her face and said soothing words to her. Suddenly, I got a mind link from the pack wolves who were at Petrol. "Alpha, we see 2 rogues near the border. Capture them, but don't kill them. I am on my way. I will kill these bastards who tried to hurt my daughter," Dan said in animosity. "Let's go, 2 have been seen near the border," I said. We reached the location to find 20 of my warriors surrounding one rogue, whereas another rogue was limping with a wounded leg, trying to cross the border. I attacked him in my human form. He tried to claw me, but before his claw could reach me, I held his neck in my hands, and with one swift movement of my wrist, his neck broke and his body fell on the ground, dead. I turned around to see that the other rogue was pressed against the tree by Dan. I expected him to finish it, but his hands left his neck, and he stood there still, like he saw a ghost. "Dan, what is wrong with you? Just kill it!" But still, there was no reply from him. The rogue could attack him. These rogues can never be trusted. You turn your back to them, and they backstab you with their sharpest and most deadly weapons. How can he be so careless? I picked up a knife from the ground and went towards the rogue. He was lying on the ground with head back. I couldn't see his face, but who wanted to see their ugly faces anyways? Without wasting a second, I stabbed it with my knife. I don't know what happened in that second. Dan screamed, "No!" I felt a sudden pain in my body, and my wolf whimpered in pain, even when there were no wounds. Then I felt a hand touch my hand on the knife. It was not just a touch, but a firework of sparks. No, this can't be. She can't be this rogue. I couldn't keep. I looked properly at her face, and my worst fear came true. Lying on the ground in a pool of blood, I saw those deep black eyes staring at me. Even in this devastated and bloody state, she was the most beautiful girl I have ever seen. I just couldn't kill her. My own mate, the one I am supposed to love and protect. I looked at my hands to see her blood on them. My hands started trembling. No, this is a dream. This is not true. I touched her face to end this dream, but I could only feel one thing, and that were sparks. Sparks on every inch of the skin I touched. Moon goddess, no, you can't do this. Ele. I managed to call her in my broken, trembling voice. The most authoritative and powerful voice of the Alpha King was trembling and stuttering today. Can you see the power you have on me, mate? Her black eyes were staring at me with so much depth and intensity, like if she was seeing her heaven. We were staring at each other when her angelic voice reached my ears. "Hey, mate." It sounded so hoarse and desperate that my heart flinched. Then her lips curled into a beautiful smile and she closed her eyes. "Aleka, shh! Wake up," I said, telling her to open her eyes, but her body laid limp in my hands. Dan tried to touch her, but I growled at him. My wolf was taking control as my human was dying with the guilt of stabbing his own mate. I picked her body and hurried towards the pack doctor. "Just hang in there, Aleka. I will not let anything happen to you." My wolf was taking control. 3 days later, Alpha Aaron's office. I was standing in my office, staring at the forest outside the window. Suddenly, I felt Dan come into my room fuming. "Aaron, have you lost it? What's wrong with you? I always respected your decisions, but not today. You can decide not to talk to her. Ignore her. But sending her to dungeon in this condition is just unacceptable. She is still healing. Her wounds could get infected over there, and God forbid, but the other vicious rogues could also attack her. What were you thinking throwing her there, damn it? I was already having a severe headache thinking about her. Was she all right? Has she woken up? Are her wounds healing? And Dan's accusations were making me doubt my decision. Dan, you think I want to do this? I want to throw my mate in the dungeon? Why don't you realize that I am not just a mate, but also an alpha, and not just any alpha, but the Alpha King? I have to follow the werewolf penal code, and according to it, a rogue should be killed at sight or imprisoned. And for a banished rogue, the order is to kill at sight if he enters any pack territory. What can I do? I have to do my duties. I don't give a damn about what that bloody penal code says. I just know one thing, that you make these protocols and you can also break them. Do anything, but I want my sister out of that dungeon. You don't understand, Dan. Dad banished her. I can't revoke it. I don't care, just get her out. I can't see her in that dying and helpless state again. With that, he went out of the room, banging the door on his way out. I sat on my seat and held my head in my hands, closing my eyes. Aleka, you are going to be the end of me. Aleka's Pav. They say death is peaceful, but what I am seeing right now is absolute and complete chaos. Scream of people can be heard. Dead bodies are lying all around me. The only color I can see around is red. This looked like the doomsday with bloodshed all around. Sky is covered with dark clouds and thunder is striking, making it look like the moon goddess is showing her anger on seeing this bloodshed. I was standing in between all this wearing white clothes, but there was not even a single drop of blood on me. What is this? Where am I? People say we are afraid of the fear of death, but not of death. They say death silences all your pains, clears all your worries, and seizes your struggles. It brings peace. But seeing everything around me, it's either that what people say is wrong or I am not dead yet. Then in the center of this hell, I saw him. The wolf with red eyes and jet black fur. Wolves were fighting around him, but his focus remained on only one thing, and that was me. I tried to move, but my body was paralyzed. I haven't felt so helpless. He was taking slow steps towards me. Ferocious growls were emerging from him. He was going to kill me. Then I heard an angelic voice whisper, "You can do it." It was Nova, my sister, the one I loved the most. She stood next to me. "Aleka, don't be afraid, I am here with you," she said, smiling. "Nova?" "Yes, Aleka, I am here and I will always be with you." The red wolf growled again and stood just a foot away. "I will die. Nova, heal. Kill me," I said, shaking. "Aleka, don't be afraid, you are more powerful than you think. You know what your name means? It means someone who will protect mankind and is unbeatable. And I know one day you will do justice to your name. You just have to believe in yourself, just like I believe in you. I love you, Aleka." She started taking steps back. Her figure was going hazy. "No, Nava, don't go. I have to go, Aleka. This is your battle. You have to fight it alone. I believe you will win." And just like that, her figure vanished in thin air. Next, I know the wolf with red eyes leaped into the air and a scream escaped my lips. I woke up to realize I was sweating and my body was wrapped in multiple bandages covering my stomach and back. I looked around to realize that this was just a dream. But I saw her. Even if it was in the dream only, I saw her. I will avenge your death, Nova. I will. I was in a dark dungeon with silver bars. The company I had was not very friendly, as wolves in my adjoining cell were sending deadly glares and some were even snarling. I expected this. I knew he would not treat me any differently from other rogues. I know he doesn't love me, and how can I expect him to love me when even I can't love myself? You cannot love yourself when you have blood of so many innocent souls on your hands, can you? But again, these things are all secondary. I will not let love and other emotions come in between my revenge. Aleka, focus. Alpha requests your presence in his office. Get up. I was talking to myself when I heard a person enter. Alpha requests your presence in his office. Get up, he ordered. I managed to get up, but my wound started bleeding again. Just great. Without showing any signs of pain, I followed him to the Alpha's office. We entered, and there he was, sitting behind the table, engrossed in his paperwork. The guard left me inside and closed the door before leaving. Sit, he ordered. I oblinged and sat on the seat, but when my back touched the backrest, I cussed in my mind. I was staring at him, but he was trying to ignore me by not meeting my eyes and looking engrossed in his work. Did he hated me that much that he don't even wanted to look at me? I thought. What were you and the other rogue doing in my territory? He asked in a cold, monotone voice without looking at me. I didn't intend to cross your border. It was just by mistake, and I don't know anything about this other rogue. He went silent for a minute. I am giving you two choices. Either you stay in my pack as a normal member without anyone knowing your real identity, or I throw you back into the dungeons. I disliked both the options. I just wanted to leave this place and carry forward my search for the red-eye wolf. You are not my alpha, so I don't have to listen to you. I am a rogue and will like to keep it that way. Your offer sounds tempting, but I like being independent. This is my life, and I make my own choices. So nice meeting you after so long, but now I'll take my leave. I got up and turned around to leave. I was opening the door when the door was slammed shut by him. He turned me around and pushed me on the door with his body hovering over me. Both my hands were placed above my head in a firm grip with his one hand, and his blue eyes were staring at me with anger. Before I can understand what was happening, he slashed my wrist with a knife in his other hand and placed his own wrist on mine. It felt like a weird kind of energy entered my body, like I got connected to something. Then I realized what he did. He completed the blood fusion. He unofficially made me a member of his pack by sharing our blood, which meant that he could mind link me whenever he wishes to. And also he would know if I crossed his territory. Smart move, Alpha. With a swift movement, he let go of me and stepped back, still staring at me with his angry eyes, daring me to go against him. I refused to break eye contact. I refused to look down. Old Aleka might have got scared by him, but this new Aleka was fearless. You are not going anywhere unless I say so. You will not be my mate or Luna to this pack, but you will continue to be in this pack. You think you can stop me, Alpha? Are you challenging the Alpha King? He said with enmity. Oh no, no way. How can a weak, pathetic, disgusting human challenge the Alpha King? I said in a mocking tone, using the words he once said to me. A sudden emotion crossed his eyes, but it was gone in a second. You have changed, Aleka, he said with again that monotonous voice. Change is the harsh and bitter reality of life, my king. If we don't adapt, we die. If I didn't change, I may also have died just like every other she-rogue. He didn't reply, just stared. He changed the topic and warned me. Aleka, you can try to escape my territory, but remember, I will always catch you. With that, he turned around and left. Why does he want me to stay? Why doesn't he just choose someone else and forget me? Why is he going against his own rules to keep me here? Why? Understanding him is just over my head. He is so enigmatic and mysterious. Anyways, last time he didn't stop me from leaving, and this time I will not let him stop me. Once I recover, I will leave his pack once and for all. Till then, I will stay here. A young girl entered the office. Excuse me, miss. Alpha said your wounds were bleeding again. He asked me to take you to the pack doctor. If you will please follow me. I never thought he would notice that my wounds are bleeding. But again, I was never able to understand what he does and why he does. With this thought in mind, I followed her to the pack doctor. Today was my second day here in my old pack. The thing I loved the most here was the soft mattress. I literally slept like a baby on it. Sleeping on those hard grounds made me forget what the comfort of a bed felt like. So here I was laying on the bed, surrounded by my hug buddies, aka my pillows, looking at the ceiling, deciding what to do today. The Alpha passed a stay order on me, so I had no choice but to stay here. But I will only listen to his order until my wounds recover. On getting recovered, I will break all his orders and will leave like a free bird breaking through its cage. So for today, I decided to visit my favorite place. After getting ready, I walked down the stairs to see some pack members having breakfast. There were just 20 members sitting at the table, whereas the pack consisted of nearly 1,500 members. After all, this was the strongest pack in the world, with the largest area, highest population, and top best fighters. It was named the Royal Blood Moonlight Pack after the royal kings who were the alphas of this pack. They had a lot of enemies because of the power and position they had, but no one was able to overthrow the monarchy. This could be done by defeating the king of werewolves, which was unheard of. When I descended the stairs, their gazes turned towards me, and they started whispering to each other. They must be thinking that I am a new member here. The head seat was empty. I recognized some of the faces as they were in my class. Some of them were my bullies back then. I decided to ignore them and left the room. I don't think they will recognize me. I have changed a lot in these 5 years. My body has changed from plumpy to toned. My hair has changed from black to light brown because of damaging by staying in sunlight for long. My skin color has changed because of the tanning. In total, I was a completely different person now. The place I went to visit was a cave. It was a secret cave, which was hidden by the bougainvillea plant covering its entrance. This was my hideout from all the sorrows and agonies. I used to come here to calm myself when things went overboard. It was still the same, hideous and dark. I touched the rocks inside it. I could still sense the negativity in this place because of the number of times I cried, screamed, and sobbed in here. I wish I was as strong then as I am now. But again, we learn from our mistakes, and they make us what we are today. With a last look at this place, I made my way towards the pack training grounds. The grounds was an open area in the middle of the territory where everyone from the age of 15 trained. The training was hardcore, starting from jogging, squats, push-ups, and ending at hand-to-hand combat. In the middle of it, a circle was drawn inside, which fights were taking place. The fighters were fighting in human form, but I had to admit that they had perfected it. A fight was going on in the middle, and everyone gathered around them, cheering them. I went further to see. The figure I saw fighting was the perfect girl of our pack, Jane. She was beauty with brains. Her striking green eyes were rarest of rare, and her fighting skills were unbeatable. By nature, she was kind, sweet, and loving, and whenever people used to bully me, she was the only one who tried to stop them. She rarely lost her temper, but whenever she did, the receiver of her wrath begged for mercy. She was the perfect mate anyone could wish for, unlike me. Aaron was friends with her, and they used to get along well. I wonder if they were still friends or more than that. She won the fight, and Aaron patted her on her back. She turned around and said something in his ear, and they both laughed. I was never able to make him smile. The only look I ever saw on his face on seeing me was a cold stare, just like the one he is giving me right now. His laughter died on seeing me, and that serious look was back. Jane could make him laugh. She could understand him, and she was fit to be the Luna. And I wasn't surprised when I heard few pack members next to me talking about how perfect they looked together. I could still feel his glare on me, but I decided to not look into his eyes. I still remember my first fight here. It was the first time he felt ashamed of having me as his mate. It was the first time I really understood what rejection meant. And it was the first time I experienced mind-numbing and bone-breaking pain. Flashback. Today was the first time we were going to train, and I was so excited. When I came to know that, unlike others, I didn't shift, I started training my human form to compete with others. I used to go and train in the woods at night when everyone was asleep. And today was the day when I will show them that I am not as weak as they think. In human form only, I will show them that I am no less than them. After our physical exercise session, it was time for the ring fight. In this, wolves fight each other till one of them falls out of the ring or surrenders. Our future alpha was standing near the ring, assessing the skills of each fighter, and after each fight, he appreciated or reprimanded the fighters. Few days back, I came to know that our next alpha was my mate. He wanted to reject me, but I somehow managed to convince him to give me a chance, and today was the perfect opportunity to show him that I was not weak. My name was called, and I went inside the ring ready to fight. My opponent was a boy from my class who bullied me. The bell rang for the fight. He continued to smirk at me. "This should be easy," he said mockingly. He attacked me first, but I managed to dodge him. I tried throwing a punch at him, but he grabbed my fist in his hand. Instead of letting go, he started crushing it, and I could feel the bones of my hand break. I cried in pain, and people around us started laughing. He continued to smile, and before I could comprehend his next move, he twisted my entire arm behind my back and pushed me down, making my face to hit the ground and blood flowed out of my mouth. I never felt so much pain before. My hand was already broken, and my arm was next. He didn't show mercy. Instead, he placed his leg on my back and started pulling my arm in a very painful angle. I screamed in pain, but my cries were falling on deaf ears. I managed to open my eyes to see some people looking at me with pity and others with amusement. Aaron's shoes could be seen in front of me. I wanted him to encourage me, to look at me and tell me that I can do it. But instead, he turned his back on me. My scream intensified when the boy holding my arm twisted it further and asked me to surrender. But I refused. I just continued to look at his retreating steps, hoping him to stop and turn around to look at me just for once. But he never did. Next, I heard a sound of something breaking enter my ears, and I felt so much pain that my body drifted into unconsciousness. Flashback over. Today was just like that day. The same cheering and excitement in people. The same arena, the same rules, the same game. The only thing that has changed was time and the player. I was no longer, was I a scared human. I was a deadly hunter now. All the wolves stand in lines for your next battle, the Gamma ordered, and people around me started dispersing and standing in lines. Should I fight? Even though I am recovering, still I have this adrenaline rush in me asking me to go and have some fun. With time and circumstances, all my passions have died except one, and that was fighting. So without thinking further, I went and stood in a line. I really wanted to tell them that the girl you bullied back then was back to give you the taste of your own medicine. But again, I stopped myself. I didn't want to go against the alpha on this. Not because I couldn't, but because I didn't want them to look at me with hate. This idea of being a new person was better. Anyone who doesn't feel like fighting today can step out and rest, Aaron said. People around me started whispering. Alpha has never said something like that before. He always makes us fight beyond our breaking point. Is he serious, or is this just a test? A girl in front of me whispered to another. I think he is serious. Maybe he is in a good mood today, the other replied, but I knew better. He was indirectly asking me. He wanted me to back off, but I refused. I knew he wouldn't make a scene here. No one left afraid of his intentions. I heard his voice in my head. Go back to your room. I looked at him, and he was already staring at me with a deadly look. I gave him a smirk and ignored him. Aleka, leave! Right now! I refused to look at him and waited for my turn, which was next. Aleka, I'll throw you back in the dungeons if you do not listen to me. Step back right now. That's an order. I looked into his eyes and replied in my mind. You didn't seem to care for all these years, and you shouldn't even care now. I don't take orders from anyone, Alpha. Next, the Gamma said, and I went inside the circle. Fate plays a very fair game. I must admit this today, because my opponent was none other than the same boy who defeated me here at the same place 5 years back. He still had that smirk on his face, and today I'll be more than happy to rub it off from his face. I smiled on seeing him and placed my hands inside my track pants pockets. The fight was going to start in the next 3 seconds, and everyone was staring at my hands in my pockets. Is she going to fight like this? Is she insane? Jake will beat her to pulp today. Does she have a death wish? Their worries were normal, but they didn't know that I was not normal. I was exceptional. 3, 2, 1. The bell rang and Jake tried to attack me with a punch directed to my face. I dodged him effortlessly, stepping to my left. He got agitated and tried to sidekick me, but again, I took a step back and his kicked empty air. People started cheering him, encouraging him to attack me. I was in defense position. He tried attacking me again and again, but always I predicted his move and dodged him. 15 minutes passed, and he was not able to even touch me. He looked tired, and his smirk changed to a thin line of anger. He had a poor temper, and this will make him loose today. I don't think I need to attack him. He will himself dig his own grave. One wrong move, and he looses. I was standing in the middle of the circle. He started growling at me and changed into his wolf state. One of the rules of the game said that changing into wolf form was not allowed. The gamma whistled to signal that he lost as he broke the rule. But he didn't stop. His wolf was so angry that it wanted to kill me. Before anyone could stop him, he lunged at me, ready to tear my head off. People around me screamed, and Aaron called my name loudly in my mind. When he was few meters away, I changed my position and ducked down, going under him. I kicked him at his stomach, and he went flying towards the tree behind me. My kick was a normal kick. It had as much power as a human kick could have. But in fighting, power doesn't matter much. I just used his own energy against him. I just changed the direction of his speed and power from me to the tree behind me. In short, I used only 5% power, but 95% skill. Sound of a tree falling could be heard, accompanied by an agonizing growl of pain. I stood up with my hands still in my pockets. Everyone was flabbergasted. Their mouths were open in shock, and they were staring at the scene behind me. I turned my neck to see that tree on which he hit had fallen, and he was lying on it. Unconscious. Aaron was staring at me, not expecting me to do something of that sort. I passed him a smile. Everyone was staring at me. But today their stares were not of accusation, pity, or disgust, but that of adoration, fear, and respect. And it really, really felt good. With long, confident steps, I made my way out of the arena, with head held high and a genuine smile on my face. Just like a boss. Meeting room. Royal Moon Pack. Good evening, everyone. Today I have gathered you here to tell you all a good news. The old man, who was the earlier king of this kingdom, started. You all wanted a queen to stand here by the side of my son, who is the Alpha King. Well, I am more than happy to inform you all that my son has chosen his queen, and she is someone among you all. She may not have alpha blood in her, but she is a very powerful werewolf, and you all already love her for her personality. His gaze shifted towards his son Aaron, who was already staring at him with an emotionless look. The future queen of werewolves will be Jane Augustus. If anyone has any objections, they can state it now, or they can stay quiet for the rest of their lives. Anyone? An elder lady of the pack objected. I don't think they are mates. Shouldn't we try to find our alpha's mate? This was expected, but the previous Alpha King dreaded this question. The answer to this question will cause a chaos. But he knew he had to tell them now. He had to spill the beans. He could no longer keep this as a secret. Aaron's mate is dead. Aaron clenched his fists on hearing this and closed his eyes. People all around gasped and started whispering to each other. The old Alpha sought their attention and continued. And as for Jane's mate, he was a rogue who rejected her. Now I don't think there should be any problem. All remained quit, still digesting the biggest news of the decade. No one dared to question. Good. A ceremony will be held on next full moon 10 days from today to make this official, and all pack members are cordially invited. Thank you. Meetings dismissed. Aaron was the first one to leave the room, leaving behind all the rumors that have started and which were going to spread faster than the wildfire in the werewolf kingdom. And he knew very soon they will reach her. She is perfect for him. Aleka's Pav. It shouldn't hurt. But it does. More than any physical pain I have gone through. There is this feeling which I can't explain. He is getting settled. She is perfect for him. Even better than me. I should be happy, but I am not. This pain in my chest and this uneasiness in my mind don't fade away no matter what. Aaron, please let me go. Don't let me see this. I can live happily staying anywhere on this world knowing that you are happy. But if you want me to stay here and see both of you together every day, sorry, I can't do that. I will leave to make it easier for both of us. I went towards the forest, lost in my thoughts. I was so lost in them that I didn't realize where I was going. I looked around to see unfamiliar grounds. I turned to go back. When I saw two figures standing in front of me talking to one another, I hid behind the tree, not wanting to intrude. Everything is done. 4 packs are with us. We are bound to win. He wouldn't know what hit him. One said, holding the other person's hand, whose face was covered with a black cloak. Are you sure we will win? I mean, he is the Alpha King after all. On hearing this, I looked closely to find the identity of this backstabber, but his face was well hidden by the cloak. I know no one was able to defeat him till now, but this time we have the biggest and strongest alliance against him. You don't worry, trust me. He pecked on the forehead of the person with the cloak. I have and will always trust you, the person with the cloak said, and they hugged each other. I wanted to go there and rip their heads off this instant, but I controlled my anger. I will not let my anger overpower my brain, which was asking me to wait. If I attack them now, I will never be able to know which all packs are against us. Also, the attack will still happen, so why not wait and watch what they could do? You tell me all the information I require here only after 2 days at same time. Till then, take care and be safe, the tall man said to the figure with cloak. The cloaked figure nodded his head and made his way towards the pack house away from the borders. The tall figure in front of me changed into its wolf form. I stood still. I knew a single movement from my side could get detected. His werewolf hearings will detect slightest of sound. His back was turned towards me, and I couldn't see his eyes. But the thing that attracted my attention was his fur coat. It was jet black. Only 1% of the werewolf population had black fur. I wanted to see his eyes, but before I could blink, he was gone. I watched him cross the border. Before thinking, I followed him. I just wanted to see his eyes. Could he be that red-eyed wolf I have been searching for? I crossed the border and ran at full speed, trying to catch up with him. But he was fast. No scratch that he was the fastest wolf I have ever seen, as fast as a bullet. And just like that, he was gone with the wind. How was this possible? Where did he go? No normal wolf was that fast. I stopped and looked around. Not even a single movement could be heard. There was pin-drop silence, just like the deafening silence before an upcoming storm. Then I heard heavy steps coming towards me. And next I knew I was pushed to the ground by something big. I opened my eyes to see a big white wolf towering over me with baby blue eyes. His eyes were focused at me and his nose flared in anger. I knew these eyes. The white fur and the royal black mark on his forehead gave away his identity. I tried moving under him, but he snarled at me, showing his anger towards me. I stopped all movements and just laid there staring at his beautiful eyes. He broke our eye contact and got up, changing into his human. I stood up and dusted myself. I expected him to shout at me for crossing the border, but he just turned around and started walking. I stood there confused at his behavior. Do you need a special invitation now? Hurry up! I started following him, and for next 10 minutes we walked silently towards the pack house. On reaching near the pack house, I saw Jane coming running towards us. Oh, thank God you are all right. Why didn't you tell me where you were going? I was so scared. She had a genuine look of worry on her face. She came and hugged him. Aaron's hands were still at his side, but then he lifted them and engulfed her in a hug. I lowered my eyes and looked at the floor, not wanting to look at them. Jane pulled back from the hug and acknowledged my presence. Hi, I am Jane, she said, extending her hand. I shook it, and she looked weirdly at me. I have seen you somewhere, I just can't remember. I got anxious. Does she recognize me? But no one was able to. How could she? Oh, I remember now. Silly me, how could I forget such an awesome fighter like you? That day your fight was so amazing. I am the biggest fan of your fighting. And that last move, OMG, it was a showstopper. That Jake is a jerk. He totally deserved it. You taught him the right lesson. I am so fascinated by you. And can you by any Jane, Aaron said in a strict, was interrupting her. Sorry, was I blabbering again? She said, looking ashamed. No, that's all right, I replied with a smile. I was happy to know that she has not changed and was still that sweet girl. I didn't got your name? I am Ale. I stopped myself. Al, any name with Al. Bullseye. Alina. So, Alina, let's go inside. I know you are cold. Your hands were freezing cold. Sure, I said, following her into the pack house. I was standing in the kitchen looking for something to eat when I saw Aaron enter the kitchen from my side view. He leaned against the shelf and continued to stare at me. I continued my search, feeling uncomfortable under his constant gaze. I can't take his scrutiny anymore. I grabbed an apple from the fruit basket and tried to leave. When I walked past him, he grabbed my wrist and pulled me back forcefully, making me lose my balance. But before my body could feel the hard ground under, I sensed a pair of strong hands and sparks on my waist. He steadied me and further pulled me towards him, making me slam into his chest. I avoided his eyes. Why is he doing this? Why is he making it difficult for me? I twisted in his grip and tried to break free, but he grabbed my tiny hands into his large ones and placed them on my back, making it difficult for me to move. I continued to struggle, but all in vain. Now we are not very strong, are we? He said, smirking and mocking my helpless state. I wanted to break those perfect teeth of his, if only my hands were free. Mate or not, I will not tolerate disrespect or mockery. Old Aleka has had them enough from him and others. But I will not. Staring at him, I asked with an irritated and serious look, "What do you want, Aaron? Just leave me." He got serious and tilted his head to the side, assessing me. "Why did you try to leave?" "I think I made this clear earlier that I will leave. On day I will surely leave, and you will not be able to stop me, Alpha." A fire burned in his eyes. "I may not need you, but my wolf, being a royal wolf, desires to stay with his destined mate. You controlled your royal wolf for so many years. Controlling it further shouldn't be a problem. Also, you have Jane and her wolf by your side. She would meet your mate needs, and eventually you will forget I ever existed," I said, looking sidewards, not meeting his eyes. "Is Jane the reason for you actions? Is she the reason you tried to leave today?" "Of course not. You no longer affect me. Once I heal, I leave." "If I don't affect you, why aren't you looking into my eyes and saying this? Why are your cheeks as red as a beetroot? And why is your heart beating so fast?" I looked up to see his face, a few inches away. I twisted my hands and was able to loosen his grip. I pushed him back and ran out of the room. I didn't look where I was going and smacked my head with someone. We both groaned in pain and held our heads. "I am so sorry. It was completely my fault. I wasn't seeing where I was going." "Are you all right?" She was a beauty with blonde hair and hazel eyes. Even when her head was paining, she managed to smile at me, accepting my apology. "It's okay. No worries. I am good. Anyways, hi, I'm Emma. I am Emmalina. I haven't seen you before. Are you a new pack member?" "No, I am just a guest, you can say." "Cool, but you have no scent. Are you a human?" "Well, actually, I have controlled, blocked, and subdued my wolf, making me smell just like a human with no wolf. If they could smell my true scent, I was sure they would run miles away from me, because my actual wolf scent had a dangerous and deadly aura which screamed power. Not just any power, but the power of Thunderwolf. Yes, I am human. That's rare, but I am actually really happy that I could make a human friend. This was there in my bucket list since so long." I smiled at her excitement and her weird bucket list. "They are perfect," she said, smiling and looking behind me. I turned around, but what I saw made me see red. There at the same place where Aaron held me, he and Jane were standing very close to each other, and Jane was holding his face in her hands, and the distance between them was decreasing. I didn't want to see them kiss. I turned forward and flashed a fake smile to Emma. "They surely are." There was a throbbing pain in my head, and my vision was getting hazy. It was like 100 needles were piercing through me. I felt like something was trying to break free of me, and then I realized what it was. This can't be. He cannot be released here. All of them will die. No, no, no. I splinted from there and went through the forest. I could hear Emma calling me through the background, but I didn't stop. I ran at full speed away from the pack, away from all of them, away from Dan, away from Aaron. This place will burn to ashes if my wolf comes out. Aaron will die. No, I can't let this happen. With this thought, that throbbing pain in my head subdued and my vision returned to normal. I laid down on the forest floor and looked up at the sky, feeling relieved. Thank Moon Goddess, I was able to control her. This was the first time I was able to control my anger and my wolf like this. Otherwise, Moon Goddess forbid all that could have happened. The only question in my mind right now was, I controlled my beast today. But for how long? Today, a meeting of neighboring 7 packs was going to be held in our territory. Alphas and their members were arriving. And here I was sitting under the table of the meeting room, deciding if this was a good hideout or not. This room was so big, but there was not a single place where I could hide without the fear of getting caught. This was the best place I could find. So hey, don't judge. I wanted to attend this meeting when I came to know its purpose. This was a perfect opportunity to find out those rival packs which are claiming to be our friends but are planning an attack on our territory behind our back. The biggest advantage I have here is my lack of scent. They wouldn't be able to find me unless I committed a mistake. Heavy footsteps started entering the room, and soon chairs scrapped the floor, and all 15 seats around me were filled. When all settled down, the meeting started. Good morning, Alphas. There was an attack on Silver Moon Pack yesterday, and you all must have heard about it. Dan started. I could imagine Alphas nodding their heads. I know you must be thinking that this doesn't concern us, but here you are wrong. Silver Moon Pack was not a weak pack. It had few members, but they all were exceptional. And killing all of them at once required exceptional skills. Their alpha was a great man, and I don't think that this attack was done by his enemy because he had none. Enmity was not the reason, nor was power. Whosoever attacked is trying to form an alliance and will play a very dirty game. And those who refuse to be a part of his ugly game, die. I want to know what all of you suggest us, who you doubt. If only Dan knew that this enemy which he was talking about was sitting among them right now. I was sure that these rival packs which are trying to attack us are sitting among us. It's just a matter of time I identify them. How do you know that this was planned? Mean Rogue could have done it. Alpha Reed, I don't think rogues are capable of such amount of planning, coordination, and skills. Rogues coming together and destroying a complete pack is unheard of, Aaron replied. I could see this Alpha Reed shaking his leg under the table, a sign of anxiousness. Also, he was twisting his hands under the table, and they were sweaty. Got you. Suspect 1, Alpha Reed. Alpha King, I think only one wolf is capable of such amount of mass destruction. The Thunder Wolf, one said, making silence fall into the room. Wow, I am famous. I hadn't done this then. Who had so much power? Could it be the wolf I saw that day in the woods? He surely had extraordinary speed. I was zooming out of the conversation, so lost in my thoughts, that I didn't realize where my hand was. Next, I know someone's shoe heel was pressed on my hand. And I muffled up my scream by placing my other hand on my mouth. Shh! The person was no other than Aaron. His foot was placed on my hand, and he thought that it was the soft carpet underneath. Thunderwolf can be a suspect, but I doubt Silver Moon is the second pack which was attacked in a week, and I agree with Dan on this. This is a conspiracy for alliance. Thunderwolf's attacks are not so frequent. Also, the destruction he causes is more than loss of human life. So I think we all need to be overcautious about this matter. I must admit my mate is smart. He is that rare combination of beauty with brain. The meeting continued and the redness on my hand worsened. My second suspect was Alpha Reynolds, who supported Alpha Reed in whatever he said. Also, I saw Alpha Reed place his hand on Reynolds' lap when Alpha Reynolds got angry defending Alpha Reed. It looked like a signal for him to stop, and my doubt got confirmed when Alpha Reynolds stopped talking after that. They were definitely involved in something big, and I knew what it was. Any threat to any pack should be reported to me immediately. That pack's safety will be my responsibility thereon. Am I clear? Yes, Alpha King, they said in unison. During the entire meeting, my hands suffered the torture of his heels. Thank you all for joining me today. Aaron said and got up from his seat, worsening my already swollen hand. All members left, except Aaron. He went towards the door to see everyone off, but then I saw his footsteps coming back to his seat. I could see his foot in front of me. Sound of pages shuffling could be heard. And next I know 2 pages slipped his hand and landed on my level. I moved back, trying to hide further. But my efforts ended when my eyes matched with those baby blue ones, and I gulped. I am dead, man. His face held shock, surprise, and anger. He pulled me up from my arm and started shouting at my face. What are you doing here? Should I tell him? No, I couldn't. He will not believe me if I tell him. I looked around trying to concoct a story. He stared into my eyes as if he was solving a mystery. Are you trying to take revenge for what they all did? I gave him a confused look. What was he saying? Revenge? Listen and listen good, Aleka. If you are planning to destroy my pack with your revenge, I will destroy you first. My pack and my people come before everything. He stepped forwards, and I stepped back, making my back touch the table behind. He placed his hands on both my sides and blocked my exit. His eyes held anger and hate, more than I can ever muster for him. Even you. In the past, he blamed me for so many things which I never did. And now again, he was starting it. Why are you accusing me of such a thing? You think I'm blind? The day you came into my pack, you were accompanied by a rogue. The day you crossed the borders, a rogue wolf was seen by my border patrol at the same place. And today you were eavesdropping on our confidential information to gather some information. All these clearly show that you are associated with the rogues and you are planning something against us. I couldn't believe him. I was not that low. I would never go against my pack, even if they had broken me in the past, physically and emotionally, in all ways possible. I didn't do it, I said, looking straight into his eyes, trying to show him the truth in my eyes. But the only thing he could see in them, like always, was betrayal. Betrayal from the person who he was supposed to trust with his closed eyes. Then what the hell were you doing hiding here? He said, slamming his fist on the table behind me, and sound of wood breaking could be heard. I stayed silent. This silence was the silence of accusation. But it was still better than the looks of distrust he would give me if I tell him the truth. Anger was radiating in waves around him. It was sending shivers into my body, something which I haven't felt since long. On getting no response, he stepped back and ran his hands through his hair in frustration. One more evidence against you, and I'll forget that you are my mate, and I am supposed to protect you. With this last warning, he left the room. Aaron, you are always wrong when it comes to me. I was not the one who needs protection, but the one against whom the entire werewolf community requires protection, including you. I made my way towards the exit where all alphas were leaving. I needed to know the faces of those two suspects of mine. When I reached there, all had gone except one. Dan was shaking hands with him. He was a tall man with black hair and brown eyes. His voice was very smooth and polite. It looked like he never got angry. He caught me looking at him and passed me a gentle smile. I moved my lips, replying his smile with a smile. I didn't hurt him during the meeting, but those dark brown formal shoes with a gold strip along its heel were identifiable. He turned around and left in his black Range Rover. Something was off about this person. He was another puzzle which I had to solve. But maybe these puzzles would lead me to my final destination, i.e. that red-eyed wolf. Dan turned around and his eyes met mine. Unlike Aaron, his eyes were readable. One emotion was easily visible in them, and that was guilt. He is feeling guilty, but he will not ask for sorry. He is happy to see me and wants to engulf me in a bone-crushing hug, but will never do it. He is just like that, and I know him really well. It took me many years to understand his complex personality, but once I did, I could read him like an open book. I saw Emma coming towards him with a smile on her face. She hugged him. On seeing me, she dragged him towards me. Hi, Elena. Here I want you to meet my mate, Daniel Grayson. Dan, she is Elena. I told you about her yesterday. Danny and I passed a smile to each other and said an awkward hi. I also want you to meet my daughter. She must be somewhere here only, she said, searching around. There she was with those beautiful green eyes which were a replica of my brother's, those blonde curls which she got from Emma, and that angelic smile, the girl I saved in the forest. Why didn't I recognize earlier? Angela! Emma called her, and I must admit she gave justice to her name. She was an actual angel sent by God. On seeing me, her eyes sparkled with recognition. She came running towards us, and instead of going to Emma, she came and hugged my legs just like she did at the time I saved her. I came down at her level and allowed her to hug me properly. While hugging her, I saw Danny and Emma exchanging confused glances. Keep our first meeting story a secret, I whispered in her ears. She pulled back from the hug and looked at me. Then with a nod of head, she accepted, and I smiled back at her. She is very shy in front of guests, but I guess you are an exception, Emma said, surprised at her daughter's unusual behavior. Dan suddenly pulled Angela up in his arms and started moving away from us. Emma was surprised at his behavior and apologized on his behalf. I am sorry. Don't mind it. He is actually very protective of her, and seeing her getting too comfortable with you, he just wants to ensure that she doesn't get hurt. It's okay, Emma, I understand. He still doesn't trust me. I know this, but I still hope that it was different. He still hates me, but I know deep down somewhere in his heart he also loves me. I was walking through the forest when I felt a pain in my stomach. I never felt something of this sort before. It was like something was churning inside it. I supported myself on the bark of the tree. I vomited out whatever I had eaten. It didn't end here. It was followed by coughs. I placed my hand on my mouth. But when I saw my hand, my blood froze cold. My hand was coated with a black substance. I knew what was happening. I have read it once in a book, but it was just not possible. It was a myth. It was esotericos persis. That is the other name of self-destruction. I needed to see Rose now. She was a witch who would definitely know what is wrong with me. I once met her in the forest, and since then she was always there when I needed her. I called a spell to call her. Within 2 minutes of me repeating the spell, she appeared. Omg, are you all right, Aleka? She gave me a liquid medicine, and I felt better. I showed her the black liquid on my hand, and she couldn't believe it. Her eyes were wide seeing my hands, and she went silent. Rose, what is it? Tell me. Aleka, how do I say this, but you are right. See, when the wolf in a werewolf becomes very powerful, it dominates the human side. If the human is weak, the wolf can easily dominate and control it, but if the human is powerful, she can block the wolf, which is your present case. The wolf hates getting controlled by a human, so it continues to push the human to loose its control. When the human still refuses, the wolf starts destroying the human. It continues till there is nothing left of the human, and then the wolf gets released at its full potential. Your wolf has started dominating. Maybe it's because your human got weak due to the mate bond or any other reason. But if this continues, I am sorry to say, but she will kill you. How much time will it take for my wolf to get full control? It depends on your mental strength. The stronger you are, the longer it will take. She gave me a potion which will help to control my coughs and the pain. She hugged me so tightly and left after asking me to be strong. Even Rose didn't know who my wolf was. If she would have known, I am sure she must be thinking of saving herself if my wolf got released. But I guess I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't kill him nor control him. My wolf will destroy this world starting from me. My world was coming to an end, but I wanted to make the best of it. I wanted to experience happiness, fun, love, everything which I never got in life. But this was just a want, and I knew they will never be a reality, not now nor ever. On my way back, I saw Jane and Aaron laughing about something so hard that his eyes were glittering with tears of happiness. On seeing him smile, a smile automatically came on my lips. For a second, I forgot all my sorrows and drowned in his happiness. She climbed on his back and ordered her to take her up to her room. He held her tightly with both his hands while she locked her arms around his neck. They were smiling at each other while looking into each other's eyes. This was the real Alpha King. I was never able to see this side of him. Maybe that's because he never showed me his real side. He was with me like he was with others. But with her, he was himself. I will never be her. I will never be loved by him. I will never be the one who he wanted, but will be the one he was forced to be with. Someone once said, "Be like a flower who gives fragrance even to the hand that crushes it." And from now on, I will try to be that flower and give him everything I can until the only thing left of me is ashes. I will spell break our bond and make her his second chance mate. I will make his soon-to-be wife his actual soulmate and tear myself apart from in between them. This will bring an end to Aleka, the human, but will give birth to the thunder wolf. The beast will be unleashed with only one motive, and that will be revenge. I was sitting in my room when someone knocked on my door. Opening, I saw Jane smiling at me with a tray of food in her hands. "Hi, Alina. I heard you haven't had your dinner, so I bought it here." "That's so sweet of you, Jane, but I'll pass." "No, I am not allowing you to sleep empty stomach. If you consider me your friend, you'll not say no." She moved past me and placed the plate on the side table. I guess I had no choice. I sat on the bed and started eating. She stared at me while I was eating, lost in thoughts. "Elena, you know you can share with me if anything is troubling you. I'll try my best to relieve your worries." "I am not worried, Jane. You are saying something that is not in my nature. I was just a bit tired, so I decided to skip meal. Aleka, will you quit it? I am sick of this fascade of yours. Stop hiding your feelings and just let it out. Jane, what fascade? I am not Heidi. Wait, what did you called me? I heard wrong, or did she called me Aleka? Did she knew my identity all along? I know you are Aleka. Your eyes give it away. I can identify these pain-filled dark hollow anywhere. All these years I saw pain and betrayal in them, but what I see in them now is worse. They are lifeless. I looked down, trying to hide my emotions. I didn't deny my identity. She knew me best. I know Aaron is your mate, and I would never take him away from you. You belong with him. But even though I know this is wrong, I just can't stop loving him. All these years without you, he was devastated and shattered. Piece by piece, I tried to heal his broken heart, but that crack was always there. When you came back, his cracks got healed, and just by seeing him look into your eyes, I knew he could never stop loving you. I rejected my mate just to be with him because I knew I could never love anyone the way I loved Aaron. What are you trying to say, Jane? She held my hands in her and looked at me with those pleading eyes. You know that a human can never be the queen of werewolves. No matter how much he loves you, he will never accept you as his mate in front of everyone. Her words were true, but this truth was burning a hole in my chest. I was not human, but a wolf. But this truth worsened the situation. As I was not just a normal wolf, I was a murderer. And a murderer could never be a queen. We are getting married 2 days from now. I know this is wrong, but sorry. Aleka, I don't have a say. I want to give him to you for his and your happiness. But at the same time, I want him next to me for my happiness. Call me selfish, but I can't live without him. She had tears in her eyes and was trying her best to control them. It's weird how she has everything and was crying, whereas me, who was losing everything in my life, was consoling her. Jane, you make him happy, and that's what matters the most. I was always a reject and will always be. A human mate will bring his entire kingdom down, and I will never let it happen, even if he begs me to. You have my consent on this marriage. Just promise me that you will always love him and make him happy. Promise me that you will give him so much love that he forgets me. I was breaking inside saying these words, but on the outside I was smiling. I promise. But you also have to promise me one thing. Promise that you will not come back again. I know I am in no position to ask you this, considering you are his mate, but I need to be sure that the shattered heart I fix does not get broken again. Normally, a werewolf would kill anyone who would ask her to go away from her mate, but in my case, I knew what she was asking was right on her part. If I put myself in her shoes, I would ask the same thing. I promise. With that being said, she hugged me and continued to sob. I am so sorry, Aleka. I am asking you to go away. I am such a bad person, and you are so good. You deserve so much better. I deserve to rot in hell for killing innocent people. And I think Aaron's mating with Jane is just the beginning of my punishment. My punishment was going to end at my death by my own wolf, and I knew it. Today was the day when those two backstabbers were going to meet again. I was sitting on top of the branch of a tree near their meeting spot. Soon I saw a man with hood come towards the tree. He came and stood just below the branch I was sitting on. I became still. Another hooded figure came towards him with some papers in her hands. I missed you, the girl said and hugged him. The way they were acting made me think if they were mates. The meeting is after 2 days. All will be gathered for the care money, and that will be the best time to attack. This is the map of the territory, and I have marked the areas with red which are open. But keep in mind that the attack is after the mating care money, otherwise all this will be in vain. And what about her? When will we kill her? There is no need for that. She will not be an obstacle. Who were they talking about? Could it be Jane killing her after the care money? Seemed logical. But then why did this girl say she will not be an obstacle? Jane is strong. This is so confusing. My assumptions are not viable. The girl with cloak handed the map to the hooded figure. The girl's arm had a gold bracelet with rubies embedded in it. I had seen it somewhere, but I couldn't locate it. Aleka, think. My thinking was cut short when 2 patrol wolves came near them. The hooded figure pushed the girl back and asked her to go while he stood in her defense. With his one hand, he ripped the throat of one wolf. His painful howl filled the silent forest. Within seconds, the other wolf met the same fate and was lying on the ground. All this happened so fast that I couldn't move a muscle to save them. I guess now was the time to see who this man was. I jumped down from the tree and landed smooth on my feet. He was standing in front of me. His combat boots came in my view. I straightened up to look into his eyes, but when I saw them, all my confidence disappeared. Red booed. That was the color of his eyes, which were staring at me with surprise. It felt like he knew me from before. No words were exchanged. I stood still, lost in those red eyes. Not because they were beautiful, but because they were deadly. Those red eyes were my worst nightmares. And today, my worst nightmare was staring at me. Revenge. The only thing I wanted. But right now, I was doubting myself. Am I capable of killing this deadly beast? He was the second person I was scared of. The first being myself, aka my wolf. While I was still as a statue, his face turned into a smirk and he stepped towards me. My body betrayed me and every muscle in my body protested to move. His face was very close to me, those red eyes staring into my black ones. His hands moved towards my hair and he held them softly in between his long fingers. He caressed them and with his fingers and moved them back to give him clear view of my neck. He was sniffing me, verifying if I was the one. One who he was never able to kill. One who always got saved by one person or the other. One who was the biggest obstacle to him becoming the king of werewolves. His long fingers touched my face and I felt goosebumps on my body. I never felt so weak and vulnerable in front of anyone, but his power was making me weak. Footsteps of pack members could be heard. His face moved towards my neck, placing his lips near my earlobe, he whispered, while my body shivered. Till next time, Aleka. Next, I know he was gone within a second, and howls of pack wolves could be heard surrounding me. I looked up to see Dan, Emma, and Aaron looking at me with the same look they had all those years back. The history was repeating itself. I was again being framed. But this time it didn't matter. The only thing that mattered was that I saw my enemy. And now he would wish I hadn't saw him, because until next time, my fear for him will be replaced with the fire of vengeance, which will not stop unless his body is turned down to ashes. Aaron's words were like a sharp knife cutting through my heart, but I didn't feel pain. A numb heart never feels pain. You reek of that bloody rogue lover of yours, but don't worry, I will make sure he follows you to hell. He held me up against the tree behind, with my feet hanging in the air. Sparks were flowing from my neck, which he was holding in a death grip. But it seemed he will not stop. Everyone was trying to stop him, but he was more powerful. His wolf was taking control. His wolf felt betrayed when he scented another scent on his unmarked mate. He wanted to kill that bat, but first he wanted to kill his mate, who decided to touch some other wolf other than him. I continued to stare at his eyes, which were changing color. My eyes were emotionless, just like my face. Aaron was able to gain back his control, and he stepped back. His eyes landed on the red marks he left on my pale neck. This was the last straw, Aleka, with this. I get my last evidence, and you loose your last chance. He left the area and others followed, not before giving his last command. Throw her into the dungeons. This time, I was not getting treated any differently. My hands were tied up, and every time those whips hit my back, I controlled my screams. I will not heal like other werewolves, but this didn't stop my tormentor. I was being treated just like a traitor gets treated in the king's pack. Whipped, starved, and imprisoned. After 20 whips, I lost the count. Just like my back got numb and forgot what pain felt like. My top was torn from the back, and blood was oozing out of fresh cuts. My eyes were open, fixed on the light bulb ahead. Next, I know the person came and untied my hands, making my body fall down on the cold floor. Numbness has traveled from my back towards my legs, and I couldn't feel them anymore. To make matters worse, I started coughing that black thing again. My body ached from the force of every cough, and I could feel energy leaving my body. I didn't have the medicine that Rose gave me, and all this was making me lose my control. I couldn't open my eyes anymore. With my face pressed on the cold floor and my bloody back on the upside, I fell unconscious. I don't know how long I was out. I was awakened by the iron door opening, but I didn't have the energy to open my eyes to see who it was. I could feel steps coming towards me, and they halted next to my body. I didn't want anyone to see me in this state. I tried to at least turn around and hide my back, but my body protested. Smoothing soft touched my back, and those sparks burned my wounds like fire. I flinched. I knew who it was. Aaron. He cleaned my wounds and applied something cold on them, which relieved the pain a bit. But why was he here to heal me when his men were the ones who broke me in the first place? I turned my head to the left to see his face. He was staring at my wounds with such a pained expression that I wanted to tell him that they didn't hurt as bad as they looked. He moved his eyes to the side, not able to look at my back. He got up to leave, but I held his hand, stopping him. He was surprised to see me awake. I was not sure if I'll be able to see him again, so I just wanted to see those beautiful blue eyes one last time. He held my hand up and pressed his lips on them. Next, he placed my knuckles on his left eye and then on the right. It felt like he was fighting an internal battle with himself. His eyes had dark bangs under them, and he looked vulnerable. I never saw him like this. He always portrayed that bold in front. Today I was making him vulnerable. "Why, Aleka? Why do you do this to me?" His voice was so low, and it cracked to the end. "You always leave me with no choice. Always I have to act like a king, and not as your mate. Why do you always go against me and compel me to do all this to you? Compel me to hurt you when I am the one who gets hurt the most on seeing you like this." I was silent. This was the first time he was expressing his feelings to me, and I didn't know what to say. "I hate you for killing my mother. She meant so much to me, and you took her away. But still, each cell in my body aches when you get hurt. I don't know what to do. To hate the person who killed my everything, or love the person who is now my everything." He was in a dilemma, and I needed to tell him what was right. When heart and brain contradict. Listen to your brain, because our heart also listens to our brain. Each diastole and systole is commanded by the brain. And right now I needed to tell him what his brain was saying was right. "Aaron, we can never be together. Even if you forget what I did in the past, we can still never have a happy future. This kingdom needs a queen by your side, and Jane is perfect. She will be your everything what I couldn't be. And what about you? I will die." But he didn't need to know that. His last memory of me will always be a smiling, happy face, not a corpse on the ground. I needed to use a lie so that he can forget me. I needed to show him that what he thought of me was right, that I was a backstabber and will always be. I know my next lie will break your heart, but this was needed. It was necessary for your happy future. Forgive me. There is someone I love, and I will be happy with him. You don't need to worry about me. He will always be there to protect and love me. His face changed from calm to furious. "I will kill that Bosch. Never in hell will I let you go to another man. You are mine. Even if I have to keep you here for your entire life, I will. But you will never touch another man." His eyes were burning with fire, and his possessive side was on display. He punched the wall next to him, and his knuckles were covered in his own blood. The guards rushed in. "Alpha, are you all right?" They asked worriedly, but when they saw the look on their Alpha's face, they stepped back in fear. He held my jaw in his death grip and said the words I provoked him to say. "Moon Goddess made a mistake by making a like you my mate, but don't worry, I'll correct her by mating with Jane. And lastly, I will break you in so many pieces that no one can ever love you. You will learn the hard way what happens when you love someone else other than your mate. Start praying that I show mercy on you, because even I don't know the limit of my revenge." With those last words, he left me there. I saw his combat shoes leave in front of me, and with this I closed my eyes, hoping what I did was right. 2 days later. Today was the night when the mating ceremony will be held. I was sitting on the cold floor with closed eyes when I heard a key turning. I looked up to see Jane. Her expression showed pity on seeing my state. "Aleka, hurry, take this." She handed me a backpack. "What?" "Wait, don't ask any questions. Just take these things and leave. Hurry. Aaron is out of territory, and he won't be able to stop you. I am giving you a chance to live a better life. Just go. I was scoffed, would be an understatement. Could I leave him? Yes, this was what I wanted, and this was the right opportunity. But what about the attack? Will they be able to win? If they get prepared beforehand, they can surely win. Jane, first, I need to tell you something. Some rival packs are planning an attack today after the ceremony. You need to tell Aaron about it. Around 5 packs are against us. You need to warn him beforehand. He will not believe me, but he will believe you. Are you sure about this, Aleka? But how do you know? Just trust me on this, Jane. Please warn him. Desperation was clear in my voice. She looked confused, but there was another emotion on her face, which I couldn't put my finger on what it was. Don't worry, Aleka, I will warn him and we will surely win, but you need to go now. The guards will be returning any minute, she said, looking around. And Aleka, don't worry about him. I'll keep my promise till my last breath. I smiled and hugged her. I was a devil while she was an angel who will always protect my Aaron from all the harm in this world. I picked up the bag and made my way out of the dungeons. She showed me the way through the forest where there were no guards. Soon we made it to the borders and we hugged for the last time. I didn't know what I would have done without he. Take care, Aleka. She looked sad, but the feelings were mutual. I smiled and made my way out of my mate's territory into the jungle. I will keep my promise. I will never come back here. Midnight, I will call Rose and complete the bond-breaking ceremony. I don't know if I'll survive it or not, but I know it was for the best. I was trying to go as far as possible from his territory. If tonight my wolf comes out, I needed my pack to be safe from him. After 2 hours, I have crossed 3 territories, and I was now near Alpha Reed's territory. This thought evades my mind. That was it, right, to leave when someone was attacking my pack tonight? I know I couldn't have done much except for killing a few wolves and distracting Aaron. But still this fear lingered in my mind. Fear of Aaron, Dan, Emma, Angela, Jane getting hurt. I was doubting my decision, but now it was too late. Returning was not an option any longer, but maybe I could make sure if Alpha Reed was making the arrangements for the attack. This would be the last thing I would do before I leave from their lives forever. I placed on foot inside the territory. Within minutes, 5 pack warriors surrounded me. I lifted my hands in surrender. I don't want blood on my hands, just a little bit of investigation on them, and then I depart. They binded my hands with silver chains and pushed me forward. I followed them to their pack house. When we entered the Alpha's room, I saw him standing there having a conversation with someone on the phone. Yes, that's taken care of. No one will back off. I have confirmed from everyone. Ray, let Raxon handle it. He is heading this. See you. He ended the call and sat on his seat. The warriors holding me left and closed the door. He was talking to Reynolds, who he called Ray, but who was Raxon. He said he was heading this, which means he was the leader. The red-eyed wolf I met 2 days back also had a lot of power. Could he be the leader of this? Could he be Raxon? My thoughts were cut when I heard Reed say, "What are you doing here, rogue?" He said with disgust on his face. I just lost my way. You want me believe this bullshit? You didn't even try to fight? You must have a motive behind it? I didn't want to waste my energy on something which I already knew I would lose to. He had an amazed look. His foul face changed into a smirk. Intelligent girl, I like you. He stood up from his seat and started moving towards me. On reaching me, he placed both his hands on either side of me on the armrest and crouches down. I am surprised to see a she-rogue after so long. You must be a tough one to survive. What's your name, beautiful? Aleka, I replied. Beautiful name for a beautiful lady. See, normally I just kill all the rogues who enter my territory, but you being a special one, I'll let you pass. Also, I don't kill females and children. Liar. Then why was he going to kill my pack members tonight? I looked at him with a hateful expression. He held my chains in his hands, and with his werewolf strength, he broke it into pieces. Why do I feel like you know something about me? I just know that you are not a smooth liar. What do you mean by that? That tonight you are planning to kill a lot of innocent women and children. He had a look of scoff on his face. I took full advantage of it and pulled out my knife from my boots. Before he could comprehend, I pushed it inside his stomach, and he fell down on the floor near my feet. He will not die because I attacked him at that place where there were no organs, but he will surely not be able to be the part of today's master plan. I rushed out of his office to see wolves on my lead. I dodged, kicked, slashed a few, and was able to make my way out of his territory unharmed. I laid down on the ground with my back against a bark tree and opened up my backpack to find the water bottle. I gulped the water down. I was sitting there resting when something flashed in my eyes. I looked around to see something in my backpack reflecting sunlight into my eyes. I held it in my hands to see that it was a ruby. Just like the one. Could she be? Oh no, what have I done? Joining the dots. All this proves that she was the one in the forest with the cloak. The ruby I had in my hand right now was one of the rubies which were embedded in the gold bracelet of the girl who handed over the map to that hooded, red-eyed figure in the forest that day. And that backstabber was none other than the person to whom this bag belonged. Jane. Aaron's Pav. I was sitting in the office of Blood Moon Pack having an important discussion. So do I have your consent on this proposal? Yes, Alpha. This proposal is just perfect. Thank you so much for coming on such a short notice and resolving the matter. Blood Moon Pack's Alpha replied. But don't you think that this proposal is a bit biased? No offense. But I mean the she-wolves will not get to train if this law is passed. They will not be able to defend themselves if, God forbid, a deadly situation arises. One of the members seated in the meeting room spoke up. Alpha of Blood Moon Pack was sending him daggers for rebuking and questioning my decision. I am sore. I showed my hand to the Blood Moon's Pack's Alpha and stopped him. My gaze was fixed on the person who questioned me. You put a good point forward, but I am afraid that for their own safety, we need to keep them away from training grounds. If attack happens, they will cause more damage by distracting their mates, so it's better to keep them on safe grounds always. Also, their mate will always be there to protect them, so they don't need to learn to protect themselves. I said this, but a thought came to my mind. How can I expect them to always protect their mates if I couldn't? Was I making the right decision? My thoughts were cut short when a sudden pain passed through my chest, but it went as fast as it came. What was it? The only reason could be Aleka crossing the border, but that was not possible because she was locked in the dungeons. She couldn't escape, could she? I mind-linked my guards at her security, but what they told me made my blood boil. Next, I ordered my patrol wolves to check her near all the borders, but I knew finding her was very difficult now. Without scent, any wolf will not be able to locate her. I was getting furious with every passing seconds. I slammed my fist on the table, causing a crack to appear in the teak wood. Damn it. How could she escape? How could a goddamn human escape from a pack of so many wolves without anyone noticing her? I left the room and changed into my wolf form, running towards my pack. I could hear Dan calling me, but the only thing I needed right now was her. I let her go once, but not now. I will find her no matter what. On reaching my pack, all my petrol wolves were scattered trying to find her. I searched for her like a madman. I crossed the border, searched all adjoining packs, called all the nearby alphas, but still no trace of her. Just like all these years, I was never able to find her. Minutes turned into hours and day turned into night. My wolf was exhausted, but my determination wasn't. I couldn't care about anything else right now. I continued to search unless my legs gave away, drained. I fell on the ground and looked up at the sky. Full moon was visible under the veil of dark clouds which have started to form. We can't bring her back. She will only come back when she wishes to. My wolf said something after very long. We usually don't talk because he is very reserved. After losing his mother and mate, he distanced himself from everything, even me. He is never able to feel Aleka's wolf, and that's how we knew that she was a human for the first time. Flashback. Today I turned 20 and everyone was so excited about it. I was also excited, not because I will find my mate, but because after just one more year, I will be the king. I always wanted to take my father's position. I adored his ways of managing affairs, and I just wanted to be like him. Giving justice and staying in power were my only goals. Finding my mate along was not a part of my plan, but I knew that time will come when I will need her. Not for myself, but for my kingdom and my lineage. I never expected anything from my mate because I never thought about her. Well, now that I'm giving her a thought, I need her to be understanding, caring, and loyal. Outlook? Well, any average girl would do because in my eyes, beautiful soul equals beautiful face. I know I'm different from other males. They are crazy about finding their mates, going on dates with them, marrying them, and etc., etc. With great power comes great responsibility, and with this burden of responsibility comes maturity. And I am, you can say, a mature person now. I entered my school halls. People cleared their way for me, and some wished me happy birthday and bowed their heads. I nodded in response to some. I was collecting my books from my locker when I saw a girl standing near me with nervous look on her face. She hugged her books and was shifting her weight from one leg to the other, looking uncomfortable. Yes? I asked her, and her eyes, which were looking at her shoes earlier, met mine. They looked shocked on seeing me, but I felt nothing. She opened her mouth to say something, but it looked like she was too nervous to even form a sentence. While she was trying to form words, I took her appearance. Black eyes, long black hair tied in a messy bun, loose sky blue t-shirt, which was a size bigger, black jeans, and white sneakers. She was too simple for her age. I mean, didn't girls of her age love to dress up, do makeup, make hairstyles, and try to look beautiful? On top of that, her eyes looked tired from lack of sleep, they had dark bags under them, and she was a bit too thin. I had seen her somewhere, but I couldn't remember. There are over 1,000 members in our pack, so forgetting one face was normal. I know I am a nerd. She blurted out so quickly that it took me a few seconds to understand what she said. She must have seen me checking her appearance. And in reply to that, she was saying that she knew that she is a nerd. Why did she cared about what I thought of her? Hell, even her appearance showed that she didn't cared about herself. I passed her a confused look. Sorry, she said with her sweet voice, which cracked at the end. What was her problem? I knew talking to the Alpha King made girls nervous, but this girl was taking it to a new level. See, girl, if you are here to waste my time, it's better you leave. I didn't got to complete my sentence as I felt a weight on my back. Soon 2 arms wrapped around my neck from behind. Aaron! Happy birthday! Jane, what the hell are you doing? Get off me! We are standing the in-school premises. I said, turning around and removing her hands from my neck. She passed me a sheepish smile. Hey, I met you after long 2 days and wished you and you didn't even let me hug you, she said with fake anger in his voice. I hugged her and satisfied her wish. Being childhood friends, she knew everything about me, and hugging me here was just a way to irritate me and tarnish the serious look I portrayed to the outside world. Her eyes left mine and she looked behind me. Oh, I forgot about the girl. I turned around to see that the girl was taking slow baby steps backwards while looking at me. Her eyes looked watery, and then she broke our eye contact and lowered her head. I saw her lips moving, and the little voice that reached my ears said, "Sorry." With that said, she turned around and walked as fast as her small footsteps could take her. Weird. Why was she sorry? And why was she here? Just to tell me that she was a nerd. But most importantly, who was this innocent-faced girl? Yes, I admit she looked like an innocent angel, like the most innocent of the innocent angel. If that even makes sense. I turned around back to see Jane smiling at me. Let's go, buddy. Our first class is starting in She checked her watch. Ooh, now. She dragged me along with her arms interlocked with mine. The first 4 classes went smooth with teachers and children wishing me. But one question that kept on coming from everyone, like from a broken radio speaker, was, "Did you find her?" Now it was lunchtime, and I was accompanied on my table with Jane and Dan. Both of them were always there with me. We grew up together and knew each and every bit about each other. I joked and laughed around only with them or my parents. You ruined my mood, Aaron. I thought today we will find our future Luna, and I was so excited about it. Dan, don't you guys feel that everyone around me is more curious to find her than me? Oh, we know how you are, but your wolf surely wants to find her. Did you ask him? Yeah, you're right. I called onto my wolf. Can you find her? No, I can't sniff her. but still it feels like she is near somewhere here only. If you feel she is here, you must be able to sniff her. We can walk around if you want? Sure. I walked out of the canteen to the green field outside. A group of 6 to 7 boys and girls were laughing there. First, I thought that they were joking around, but then I saw a figure standing in between them. That's the girl who is said to have killed Nova, Jane said, coming behind me. Nova was a part of our group. Me, Jane, Dan, and Nova were inseparable. She was a wonderful person, and the time we spent together in our childhood was the best time of my life. Unless one day she was attacked by a wolf, and when we reached her, it was too late. She was laying there on the ground lifeless, and next to her was a small girl with black eyes and black hair. This girl was covered in Nova's blood, and I felt like killing her that day for not saving someone who meant so much to me and was one of my 3 best friends. Later, I came to know that girl was Dan and Nova's younger sister. I never knew they had a sister, maybe because she was an introvert, an invisible child who never talked to anyone else. I knew others bullied her, but I never stopped them. Even Dan hated her with passion after that incident. I saw them pull her hair, and her face got covered by her hair. They threw her things from her bag all around, but she stood there still, allowing them to do whatever they wanted to. It went overboard when one of them pushed her, and she fell on the ground. Her clothes were now wet with mud patches on them. They laughed at her condition and called her murderer, murderer, murderer. Few even kicked her stomach, and she just laid there still as statue. I needed to step in. They were acting inhuman. As I took a step forward, I felt something falling on me. I looked up to see water droplets falling from the sky that was covered in dark clouds. The clouds were so dark that they managed to make the day look like night. Everyone hurried inside. "Let's go, Aaron," Jane said. "You go, I'll be back in a minute." "Okay," she said and left. Everyone left, and I moved forward towards the figure on the ground. She was drenched and her figure was shaking. I just don't know why I stayed. Mabel, because I wanted to assure she was all right. I crouched down on her level. Her face was facing downwards and she was trying to get up. I collected her things in the meantime and placed them in her bag. Her black hair still covered her face, and she didn't even try to move them aside, as if she was ashamed to show me her face to me. She stood up straight and placed the bag I gave her on her shoulder. I don't know, but I was watching her every move very carefully. Next, she took a step forwards, but I guess her ribs got hit really bad as she lost her balance and was falling back. I stepped forward and held her fragile body in my hands with one hand under her waist. When she fell back, her hair moved back and now her face was visible. Those same innocent black eyes were staring at me. But this didn't surprise me the most. The thing that did was the firework of sparks taking place at the place my hand was connecting with her tiny waist. My wolf went crazy and started shouting the word which linked my soul with her forever. Mate. I wanted to give this beautiful angel all the happiness in this world. Her dark orbs captivated me, and I got so lost in their darkness that I couldn't even find myself. But when I found myself, I realized what I was doing. She had no scent. She was not even a wolf. How could she be my mate? How could she be the mate of the alpha of werewolves? How could she be my queen? No, I can't accept her. She will bring down my entire kingdom. I have to reject her. What's your name? I asked her, not changing our position or breaking the eye contact. I expected her to stutter like before, but she didn't. Aleka Gray, she said with love in her eyes. Those eyes, which looked lifeless earlier, were shining with love and hope again. I was going to take away that shine, and I didn't know if I will ever see them in her eyes again. A thunder striked, and lightning flash reached her black eyes. I hated doing this, but I had to. You can't be my mate. This must be a sick joke, a pathetic, weak human. No, this can't happen. You can't be her. I have to reject. She interrupted me in between. No, Alpha, please don't even say that word. I'll be a good mate, I promise. Just give me a chance. Please, just one chance. Her eyes were pleading. The shine in her eyes was worn out by the tears that were now flowing from her eyes. Her tears were mixing with the water droplets falling on her face. Could I give her a chance? Decisions taken in haste can be disastrous sometimes. I should wait. Maybe she could be a good queen. Everyone deserved a chance, and so did she. I broke my eye contact with her, unable to look at those eyes, which were breaking my heart with every single tear that fell out of them. I scooped her up in my arms, bridal style, and made my way towards the nurse office, with her eyes staring at my face throughout the way, and thunder striking the ground where we stood before. Flashback over. Today's weather was in contrast to that day's weather when we first met. It was so silent today, just like the silence before a storm. I heard my dad speak through MindLink. "Aaron, it's time for your mating ceremony. You need to come back." Should I go back? Should I leave without finding her? You will find her when she wants to be found. My wolf said, and I agreed with him. Right now, I will not back off. The responsibility of the entire werewolf kingdom lies on my shoulder. I can't be selfish right now. I am coming. Just like this approaching storm, my life will now take a turn towards the worse, and I couldn't do anything other than wait for this storm to pass. Little did he know that this was not just a normal storm, but a hurricane, and not just any hurricane, but the most intense and disastrous of all, with the strength equivalent to the strongest hurricane ever known to exist. With the center eye of this hurricane being the Thunder Wolf herself, Aaron's Pavkanti. I reached the destined location for my ceremony to see the area decorated with lights and flowers. Around 1,000 people were sitting on their seats anxiously waiting for their king's ceremony to their future queen, Jane Austen. I saw Dan coming towards me. "Did you find her?" He asked me worriedly. No, he went silent hearing my reply and left. He was not acting like he usually did, but this was understood because I knew deep down he still cares for her a lot. I faked a smile when people greeted me while I was on my way to the stage. My dad was there standing with a smile on his face. The crowd cleared their way, and I saw Jane walking towards me, dressed in a beautiful white dress with white lilies in her hands and a smile on her face. Was I the only one who was not happy? Everyone was so excited and happy. When I felt numb, even Jane had a smile that reached her eyes. No matter how much I tried, I just couldn't pass a genuine smile. I couldn't be happy because today was the day when I will be separated from that part of me which Moon Goddess chose for me. Today is the day when my soul will leave me, and the only thing left of me will be an empty shell of a person. Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for joining us today here for a very auspicious occasion. We all are here to witness the marking ceremony of our King Aaron Alastair King and his soon-to-be Queen Jane Mary Austen. Peals started clapping and hooting on this. Jane's eyes met mine, and they held happiness and adoration. So starting with the ceremony, I want the king and queen to stand here and exchange their bloodlines by pouring few drops of their blood into this holy archaic. I slit my wrist, and while those drops were falling into the bowl, I remembered the day when I mixed my blood with Aleka a few days back. I could still see those black, surprised eyes staring at me. "Aaron, this is not right. We already broke her innocence. Just don't break her soul." My wolf pleaded with desperation evident in his voice. My lord, my lord." The person who was conducting this ceremony said, "You need to mix her blood as well." With the knife in my hand, I sliced Jane's wrist in such a way that it wouldn't hurt her. I miss those sparks, which I feel when I touch Aleka. But now I guess I have to forget that felling for once and forever. Once the blood mixed, a yellow light emerged around the bowl, locking our bloodlines. "Next, my lord, you have to mark her to seal your bond." I stepped towards Jane. She angled her neck to give me full access of her marking spot. "Aaron, please." Aleka will feel her bond break. She will feel that excruciating pain if you mark her. Don't do it. I closed my eyes, and all her memories flashed in front of my eyes. The day I first met her, the day I rejected her, the day I banished her, the day when I found her, and the last memory was of her lying on the ground in the dungeons watching me leave. Roars of thunder echoed in the sky, and it felt like even Moon Goddess was expressing her disapproval. "Aaron, what are you thinking? Just do it." My father commanded through the mind link. I opened my eyes to see 1,000 eyes staring at me. By marking Jane, I will be rel-pacing Aleka with her. First I rejected her, now I'm replacing her? What kind of a mate am I? Hell, I don't deserve her. I just hoped that the wolf she said she loved could give her all the happiness I couldn't give her. Here I am dreading over her, and there she may be having the best time of her life with her lover. She has moved on, and now it is our time to do the same. I said to my wolf, and he howled in pain. I moved towards her neck, and her scent was nothing like the peach blossom scent Aleka had when she was young. The same scent which faded as she grew up and turned out to be a human. I marked her with only one thought in my mind. I am sorry, Aleka. People cheered with happiness while my heart got numb with pain. Jane hugged me, but my hands were frozen on my side. It felt like something broke away from me and took my heart along with it. Words can't explain how I am feeling right now. It's like feeling sorrow, loneliness, pain, numbness, and depression all at once. I am so happy, Aaron. Finally, we are together, Anne. She was saying something, but my mind was oblivious to it, lost in its own sorrow of separation. The ceremony continued. People congratulated me every now and then, and I continued to thank them with faked happiness in my voice. Aaron, are you all right? Jane asked me, sounding worried. Yeah, I am fine, just a bit tired. Are you sure? Because your eyes tell me a different story? Jane, please just leave me alone right now. I turned around to leave, but she held my arm, stopping me. Aaron, please just tell me what is bothering you. I am your mate now. No, you are not my mate, nor will you ever be, my wolf said. Jane always understands me. Should I tell her about Aleka? She has the right to know the truth. She never kept secrets, and even I shouldn't. Well, you know that girl who came to stay with us for a few days, Elena? She was none other than Aleka. She went silent and gave me the signal to continue. The same Aleka everyone bullied 5 years back, the same girl who killed my mother and got banished, and the same girl who I rejected as my mate. She looked at me with wide eyes, shocked at my revelation. She thought my mate was dead like everyone. I never told her that Aleka was my mate. Only Dad and Dan knew. Shh, she was your mate and you never bothered to tell me. You said she was dead. How could you? She started taking steps away from me, staring at me with tears in her eye. Knew I lost Aleka already. I couldn't afford to lose my best friend as well. Wait, Jane, at least listen to me. I held her hands in mine, stopping her from leaving. Jane, me, and Aleka could never be together. The king of werewolves can't marry a rogue human who is charged with murder. Even if I wanted her as a queen, the people here would never see her as someone other than their queen's murderer. You have to understand why I did this, why I am ready to leave her and make you my everything, why I am ready to make you my queen. Aaron, I always understand you. It's just that you never trusted your best friend with your secret. I could have helped you if only you had told me earlier. Is she the reason for the fake smiles you were giving today? Are you even happy to mark me, or am I just a better replacement of her? Jane, Aleka has left and I don't think she will come back. My wolf is still healing from the pain of separation. We just need some time to let you in. Never doubt me, Jane. I promise to give you the happiness you deserve. She engulfed me and was not ready to let go. She was sobbing, and I held her in my arms, giving her the feeling of assurance and safety. Aaron, I have always loved you. Just please forgive me for what I am doing. Her sentence was cut short when I heard loud growls around me, and the mind link I got confirmed what I was thinking. Alpha, we are under attack. How many? Alpha, nearly 500 in Southern Territory, 600 in Southern, and around 900 on East Border. Border Patrol is unable to get situation under control. Few have managed to cross nearly 10 kilometers and are going to reach the ceremony grounds. This was bad. Everyone towards the safe house. Fast! We are under attack! Jane, hurry, take everyone to safe ground and make sure that they cross the border through the underground tunnel. She nodded and hugged me again. Be safe, she said, and started directing everyone. We nearly had 400 warriors against 2,000. Winning this was next to impossible, but I was not going down without a try. Dan came running towards me with worry on his face. This was rare because he was a neutral and composed person. Even in our worst fights, he kept his calm, but today, watching him like this showed me how intense this attack was. 5 packs have attacked us all at once. They have crossed the borders and are heading our way with only one motive: your death. He was scared on saying this, as this was evident from the way his voice broke while completing this sentence. I placed my hand on his shoulder. Dan, don't worry, I will be fine. He nodded, unsure of my commitment. Can we get help from any neighboring packs? They are only the ones who are heading this attack. Those bloody backstabbers. We helped them when they needed us, and in return they are doing this. On hearing this, my only light of hope blew off. Now the only thing I could rely on was my own self and my own strength. Get ready, Dan. Fight like you never fought before. Let's show them who they are messing with. With this, we changed into our wolves and got in attack mode. The ground on which our ceremony took place resembled a bloodbath now. Dead bodies were lying on every step. I managed to kill the wolves which came our way. I got some gashes and cuts, but right now I could care less. My pack members' safety was my utmost priority. Killing wolves was not a tough task for me. This was what I was trained to do from the day I started fighting. But the only problem right now was their number. Me and my warriors kept killing, and their number still kept on increasing. I was searching for those alphas who had the audacity to attack the Alpha King, but they were hiding somewhere, like the cowards they are. I kept on fighting with just one hope. Hope that my pack members reached safety grounds. Hope that Jane was successful in helping them out my territory through the tunnels. But this hope got shattered when I saw Emma standing near the pack house with bloodstains all over her. She was shielding someone with her body by hugging, and this someone was none other than Angela. What were they doing here? They should have reached the safety grounds till now. Then I saw a wolf come towards them from behind. Before he could attack, I placed my wolfsbane-laden knife on his chest, and he fell on the ground. Emma was trembling with fear, and her hands were covering Angela's eyes. What are you doing here? Why aren't you in the tunnel? Aaron, they knew about the tunnel, only few could escape from there. How could they know about it? Only few of my trusted people knew about it, unless the culprit was someone of them. Before I could say something, Emma fell on the ground. Her hands left Angela and her breathing became rugged. Emma, what happened? Mommy, Angela said, crying. I supported Emma's weight and placed her back on a tree bark. Tears were flowing endlessly from her eyes. She managed to say, Dan, oh no, he must be hurt. I turned around to see him lying on the ground surrounded by 3 wolves. He was holding his leg, which was bleeding profusely. I attacked them, but they were stronger than the others. From their strength, they surely were ranked beta or gamma. I held one from its neck and was ready to break it when the other clawed on my back. I changed into my wolf and tore their necks with my claws. Both were lying on the ground in their own blood. Dan was not able to stand up. I moved his arm around my neck and carried his body with his weight on my shoulders. Aaron, just leave me. You will not be able to protect both of us. Wolves continued to attack, and I managed to dodge and attack them with my free hand. My whole body was now covered in wounds, some shallow and some deep, but they didn't stop me from moving ahead. Just shut up, Dan. How could he even think that I will leave him? I will die before leaving him. Next, I know something sharp was stabbed into my back, and a numbing pain was spreading like poison. It was wolfsbane, which had the capacity to paralyze my body. But I was stronger, my willpower was stronger, my wolf was stronger, and most importantly, my royal bloodline was stronger. I continued to take steps further. Then another, and another, and another. Knives were stabbed into my back. It was like a shower of knives with my back being their target. My backbone numbed, and my legs gave out. I fell down with Dan, but I managed to push him aside so that my body weight didn't fall on him. I could feel my arms, but my back and legs were numb. It was like they weighed a ton, and slightest movement in them caused severe pain. My back was probably bloody by now, guessing by the amount of blood lying around me. Well, look who we have here, came a voice from behind me. I wanted to see his face, but turning around was not possible, as my backbone was probably broken. The great Alpha King, the one who is to protect you, is here lying near my feet, all bloody and helpless. I lifted my head to see all my pack members encircled around us. They were being held captive by the attackers. Young, old, women, men were all being held by them. This useless king is lying where he belongs, in the dirt. I saw him lift his leg to press on the knife stucking on my back, but the pain never came. I tilted my head to see Dan's raised arm, which was holding this man's feet in his hands. Next, I know a knife was stabbed into Dan's arm. Emma screamed from behind. I saw his face. He was suffering so much pain, but his face showed no sign of it. The only emotion in his eyes was anger, directed towards the person who was standing above me, the leader of rebels. Your pathetic Alpha King will plead and beg me to spare his life, and you all will witness this. You will see what a coward he is. He pressed his foot on my knife-laden back, making them go deeper, but I refused to show my pain. I have never felt so helpless before. My wolf refused to take over because of the wolfsbane, and my human was fighting the pain. My healing power was stronger, but this wolfsbane was blocking them. Every cell in my body was engulfed in this burning ache, but my face remained emotionless. On seeing no reaction from my side, he applied more weight on my back with his foot. But little did he know that it would take death for him to break me. Until my last breath, I will live as a fearless warrior. Weight left my back, and I saw him stand in front of me. He crouched down on his legs and held my face in his grip. He lifted my face up, and what I saw made me remember one thing that Aleka always said: the red-eyed wolf. Because the person standing in front of me had red eyes, which were an evidence to the innocence of my mate, who I never trusted. Aleka's Pav. The saddest thing about betrayal is that it never comes from your enemies. This is what people say about betrayal, and right now I just realized how true this statement was. Jane, the girl who I looked up to, the girl who I thought was an incarnation of Moon Goddess, the girl who I trusted blindly, was the one who backstabbed me. I thought she was perfect, but how wrong I was. Her perfection had flaws that overshadowed her good intentions. Hell. I even trusted her with the one person who meant the most to me, Aaron, when she was the one from whom I should have protected him. How stupid can I be? How could I trust her so much? I thought she was better than me, that she loved him like I couldn't, pleased him in the ways I couldn't, support him in the times I couldn't. She will protect him with her own life, was her promise to me before I left, but was a blunt white lie, just like she was. I never broke a promise before, but this time I will. She decided to break it, and now I was going to break mine. I am returning back to protect what once was mine. I am coming back, Jane. Just pray that I have mercy on you, because the one word that doesn't exist in my dictionary is forgiveness. These thoughts are going on in my mind while I am running at full speed back to the place I left a few hours ago. My stamina is 10 times that of a normal human because of staying and running in these forests for the last 5 years. You can say that these forests are my first home. I felt safe here, but right now I need to cross them as fast as possible. It was midnight already, and full moon's light was showing me my way through the forest. My patience was running out because of the worst-case scenarios my brain was building. What if Aaron was not able to defend himself? What if they hurt Dan, Emma, and Angela? What if I am not able to reach on time? What if that red-eyed wolf won? That red-eyed wolf was very fast and strong, but was he strong enough to defeat Aaron? All these questions were forcing me to move forward at my full speed. I was halfway through when I felt an excruciating pain in my abdomen. It was so intense that my breathing became rugged and I fell on the ground holding my stomach. My vision was getting blurred with each passing second. To make matters worse, I started coughing. Through my blurred vision, I could see that black liquid covering the ground at the place I was coughing. No, not now. Please just let me see him once. Just let me see Aaron before my wolf takes control. I just want to make sure he is all right. The pain got now accompanied by a burning sensation, and this time it was not only in my abdomen, but around my neck as well. It started at my marking point in my neck and spread all around my neck till my chest. It was like something was choking me, cutting my air supply. Now I knew what was happening. Aaron was marking Jane. The ceremony has started, and their marking has completed. I remembered the wolf saying that they will attack after the ceremony, which means I got to hurry up. I tried lifting myself up from the ground. I can't stop. I have to continue. Again, that coughing started, and this time it was worse than before. I understood what was happening to my body. Aaron marking Jane has weakening me. My body could no longer resist my wolf. My wolf was getting stronger and my human self was dying. But I had to stop him today. I can't die just yet. I need my vengeance. I need to show them who they decided to mess with. I need to show them why people say karma is a bitch. I am coming, and even my own wolf will not stop me today. With this newfound determination, I pick myself up with my arms. This pain I feel will get numb, but the fire of anger and revenge in my soul will not. Every step I took made me stronger. It made me trust myself. I can do this. I was now again back on track. Slowly, the pain faded away. Dark clouds started forming. These clouds were the result of my wolf's emergence. My wolf was not called the Thunder Wolf like that only. He actually controlled thunder. His arrival is associated with dark clouds and loud thunder. Right now, dark clouds covering the sky was a symptom that my wolf will come out soon. But I didn't have time to think about that. I just want to reach my pack as soon as possible. These attackers need to deal with me first. I will not let Jane or anyone hurt my pack members until I am alive. I am coming, Aaron. I am coming. Aaron's pav. All my pack members were being held hostage around me, and I couldn't even move a muscle. Damn. They had looks of terror on their faces. Mothers were shielding their children with their body, and fear of death was evident on everyone's face. How could I be so weak? I am the Alpha King, for God's sake. I need to protect these people. Those red eyes made my blood boil. I will kill this bloody basta. He killed my mother, Nova, and so many innocent people. He was the one who framed my mate. He framed my innocent Aleka as a murderer. I will not leave him. I called to my wolf. Wake up! We can't be weak right now. The wolf's bane was hitting him bad. I could only hear his painful groans in response. He made us think that Aleka was a murderer. Because of him, we rejected our mate, banished her, and broke her care. Do you still don't want to kill him? On hearing about his mate, my wolf got back. He fought the effect of wolfsbane, and I could feel energy enter my body. I could feel my wounds healing a bit. I clenched my fist, waiting for the right time to attack. You are the one who framed Aleka. You killed my mother, I managed to say with anger and hate surging through my words. Tsk. So the great Alpha King finally believes his mate. Wow, this is amazing. I think you should be awarded for this. I played with all of your minds, and you let me. Your weak, pathetic excuse of a mate couldn't even defend her, so the poor souls died protecting her. I just wanted to kill her, to make you weak and take over your throne, but someone or the other kept on protecting her. But you guys made it easy for me when you yourself rejected her. Poor girl, I pity her. My blood was boiling with each word he said. I picked myself up and stood at my full height, looking straight into his red eyes. Behind him stood the 5 alphas that supported him. You said that I am a coward. Well, then what are you? Trying to kill my mate so that it would be easier for you to defeat me, attacking me by backing yourself with 5 other packs and throwing these knives at me while facing my back? Only cowards attack from the back. If you got guts, attack here. I said, placing my hand on my chest. His smirk got replaced by a scowl. He took a step forward and stood in front of me. Everyone was silent now, hoping that their Alpha King wins this fight. The 5 alphas stepped back, making space for us to fight. He attacked me first, aiming at my neck, but I sidestepped and back-kicked him. I expected him to fall back, but he stood there still like a wall. He just flinched a bit from my attack. Before I could attack him again, he vanished like thin air, and before I could blink, I saw his fist hitting my jaw, making me stumble and to blood flow out of my mouth. I underestimated him. He is much stronger and faster. I pretended to punch him with my left fist, and when he moved to the right to defend, I broke his jaw with a strong blow. He moved back, holding his jaw, not expecting this attack. Before he could fully recover, I kicked him at his stomach with my full force, and he fell back. His body touched the ground, but he changed into his jet-black wolf with red eyes and counterattacked me. His wolf weight made my body hit the tree bark behind, making the knives on my back stung like burning needles. I changed into my white wolf. Because of my transition, all the knives on my back fell down, leaving red stains on my white fur coat. My wolf was now in control, and he would not stop unless he tore each limb of his body. I growled loudly, making the trees shake and ground move under me. His black wolf charged towards me. My wolf also charged in his direction, kicking the dust under his paws. We headed straight towards each other like angry bulls. On reaching closer, his wolf leaped in the air, aiming at my back. My next move was my all-time favorite. Instead of slowing down, I fastened my speed, and while he was still in the air, I clawed his chest, going under him. His speed made his landing harsh and painful. 4 long claw markings were oozing with fresh blood on his chest. I turned around and at full speed charged towards him. I landed on top of him. I was ready to tear his neck and finish his life when I heard 2 gunshots. Next, I knew something sharp hit my back, making me roll over on the ground. My wolf howled loudly, expressing his pain. He could no longer handle the pain, and he shifted. But on turning human, the pain was 10 times worse. I refused to cry in pain, but my eyes displayed it. Uncontrollable tears were flowing down my cheeks. This was the worst form of pain I ever experienced. Even death would be better than this. But again, death would not come so easily on someone like me, who emotionally killed his own mate so many times. Through my tears, I could see a figure standing before me with a gun in his hand. I saw the face, but I couldn't believe it. I blinked again to see clearly, but my vision remained the same. There in front of me stood Jane with a cold and emotionless look on her face. The physical pain I felt got multiplied by this emotional pain of betrayal. The only words that left my trembling lips were, hi. The red-eyed wolf got up and engulfed her. The next words he spoke answered my question. That's like my mate. Never ever would I have thought that she would betray me. I trusted her blindly. I thought I knew everything about her, but what a fool I was. I only knew what she wanted me to know. I trusted her blindly, whereas I didn't trusted my mate even once. I could feel hatred for myself. I deserve all this for what I did to Alika. I deserve all this pain. I deserve to die. The bullet that shot me was coated with poison, and this poison was not wolfsbane, but even a stronger drug. I coughed blood. This showed that my body was resisting this poison and was struggling to not shut down. My wolf was not replying to my calls. Without him, I could not survive. If this continues, then my punishment for my deeds will be death. They say everything you do comes back to you, but right now I don't agree with this. The pain I am getting in return is much less than what I gave Aleka. 5 minutes of painful death is much easier than 6 years of torture she went through because of me. Moon Goddess, I will openly accept my punishment. Even if it is worse than death, I will happily accept it, because I know I deserve it. Karma is not a bit, but a lesson. It is the lesson which teaches you that whatever you bow in this life, reaps in this life only. There is no past life or afterlife. Everything starts in this life and ends here as well. So Aleka, I don't know if you could hear me or not, but I just want to say one thing. I am sorry, Aleka, for being your mate, for being your nightmare when I should be your daydream, for giving you tears of pain instead of tears of happiness, for breaking you when I should be the one holding you, and lastly, for not trusting you when I should be the one defending you. I don't ask for your forgiveness because it would be unfair. I ask for my death, which maybe Moon Goddess will be granting me soon. With this, I look up at the sky to see tiny droplets of water touching my face. The only face I wanted to see right now was that of hers. And I think Moon Goddess granted me my last wish, because through my blurred, teary vision and falling raindrops, I saw those onyx-like eyes staring at me. Aleka's Pav. I reached the pack border. There was a deadly silence here, and I feared that maybe I was too late. I took a step further, but I felt something wet under my combats. What I saw made me freeze in my tracks. There was a pool of blood on the ground, but that was not it. I turned to my left to see something like hell. Dead bodies lying everywhere. Blood on every step. Children, women, warriors all lying dead on the ground. Fear engulfed me. I continued to take small, shaky steps further. In front of me was a circle of people. Warriors were standing near them with their swords, daring them to move or do anything. As I approached the circle, everyone turned around to look at me. Their eyes held the fear of death, unlike me. I am not afraid to die. I know it will come to me eventually. I am just afraid of something happening to him. The guards, on seeing me, grabbed me by my arms and took me inside the circle, their swords touching my neck, daring anything against them. The emotion I feared the most was now getting on surface. My anger. Anger was what I felt when I saw Dan lying on the floor in his own blood. His chest was moving up and down, but his eyes were struggling to stay open. On my right stood Emma, with her eyes fixed on Dan. A guard was holding her from behind, stopping her from struggling. And there near her leg was Angela, body trembling with fear, eyes red from crying. Her eyes met mine, and the one thing I saw in them was hope. Hope that I'll protect everyone like I protected her before. Raindrops started falling. In front of me stood the two backstabbers hugging each other. Behind them on the ground, I saw something I feared the most. Something which broke my soul in so many pieces that my eyes got closed automatically, unable to see this. A thunder could be heard depicting the anger of my wolf. Aaron was there, covered in so much blood that even an inch of his skin was not visible. The rain droplets were washing away the blood, but I also knew they would be hurting his wounds like stinging needles. His body was motionless. As if feeling my stare, his head turned to look at me. Our eyes met, and I was thanking Moon Goddess, thanking her for keeping him alive. His baby blue eyes were portraying all his emotions. Pain, happiness, fear, and that one thing which I yearned for each day of my life, his love. My anger got intensified when I saw teardrops in his eyes. I have never seen him cry before, but today seeing his like this broke me. I wanted him strong, strongest of all, fearless of all. I knew these tears were not his weakness, but a depiction of his pain, and his pain burned my insides to kill these people who did this. I wanted them all dead, but not a peaceful death, but one which is merciless, one which will make the souls of bystanders shudder in fear. Well, look who we have here. My eyes met his red ones. He had a smirk on his face, and it was like he was expecting my arrival. The bullied, rejected, banished, weak human who was my favorite pawn in my game plan of overthrowing the king. Everyone I present before you, the rejected mate of our king, Aaron Alastair. Aleka Gray. People all around were shocked. Gasps could be heard all around. They never knew I was his mate. They just knew that their king's mate was dead. They never knew that she was an Omega in their own pack only. They never knew that the girl they degraded to the lowest ranks was actually meant to be the one at the highest. But now they knew. Some had pity in their eyes, others had regret. Bring her here. The guards pushed me forward till I reached the red-eyed wolf. Jane stood next to him. Her eyes were shocked to see me. She didn't expected me to return. But again, I wouldn't have returned if I hadn't known about her intentions. Aleka, you call these people your pack? They treated you like shot, but still you come here to die for them? I give you a choice. Either you can join me and rule over them, or you can die along with them. The red-eyed wolf offered. The only thing my eyes were fixed on was Aaron. I never wanted to see him like this. He was staring at me with those pleading eyes, asking me why I came back to die when I could have lived happily. But the thing was, I could never be happy without him. I don't desire happiness, I only desire his well-being. I wanted to hurt these people so bad for hurting the only few people who meant the most to me in my life. But hurting them was not that easy. I couldn't fight these many wolves all by myself. They will definitely kill me, but until my last breath, I'll protect them. Joining this red wolf sounded funny. He didn't know that my loyalty had no boundaries. My loyalty is one-sided. It gives everything, but never expects anything. I lived under the name tag of a murderer, but I will surely try to die as a savior. I looked straight into his red eyes and replied, no. Next, I know the red-eyed wolf looked at the guard behind me and gave him some signal. I felt swords slashing my back, making me stumble forward, but I refused to fall down on his feet. Another slash could be felt from the other side, making a cross on my back. N-O-O. Just le. I heard Aaron say in his pain-filled, crooked voice. I looked at him and his eyes held desperation. Desperation for holding me and keeping me safe. I passed him a genuine smile. I don't know why I smile when every inch of my body is breaking and aching. Maybe it's because I have gone insane, or because I wanted to assure him that this pain was nothing. I stood my ground. The red-eyed man grabbed my jaw in his hand and forced me to look at him, breaking my eye contact with Aaron. I gave you a chance, but I guess you want to die along with him. But don't worry, I'll make it a quick one. His hand moved towards my neck, and he started throttling it. "'Kay, me, now? But if Yayao decide to let me live, I promise, you all will not be able to see tomorrow's daylight." I managed to say with angry eyes staring at his red ones. His red orbs were now burning with anger. He wanted me to plead, to beg him to let me live. But what he got from me was a challenge, and he didn't like backing down from them. I could feel my feet getting lifting from the ground. My hands were holding his grip and I was trying to pull it, but my human strength was no match to his. Slowly and slowly, these few seconds felt like hours. My vision got hazy, and my lungs were losing their purpose. My grip on his hand loosened. My arms fell on my side, and my legs stopped struggling. Faint sounds could be heard, but I couldn't identify them. My mind was not functioning due to the lack of oxygen. Just when I thought death will engulf me, his hand left my neck and I fell back on the ground. Oxygen entered, but it was followed by continuous coughs. Black substance covered my hands and everyone looked confused on seeing it, but no one paid much heed to it after the next words which he spoke. "This is no fun. Why don't we make things interesting? Guards, go and grab those silver chains." The guards bought the silver chains and they tied Aaron and Dan's hands and legs, making it impossible for them to move or shift. Groans of pain could be heard from them. If only I could take away their pain and see their smiling faces again. Next, the red-eyed ordered a wolfsbane-laden whip and made his way towards them. Jane stood there watching. I wanted to rip her head off for doing all this. She was the main culprit. Everything happened because of her. Feeling my stare on her, her eyes met mine. Aaron gave everything to her, and this is what she did. He made her his queen, and she took away his kingdom. He gave her his trust, and she kicked it like dust. He gave her friendship, and she repaid it by betrayal. Jane, you made me realize that what people say is right. Never trust anyone other than yourself. How stupid, foolish, naive was I to trust you? I held myself up and confronted her. I just needed my answers from her. I just wanted to know what wrong did Aaron did in these 20 years that she was ready to see a knife go through his heart without feeling any emotion. I just wanted to know if her heart was really made of gold or it was just copper coated with gold water. Why, Jane? What couldn't he give you? Her emotionless face and cold eyes stared at me. She came near me and replied, "How could he be mine, Aleka? He always belonged to you. I loved my mate, and right now I am standing by his side, supporting him, whereas he was a fool to reject you. He didn't even treated his mate well, and you expected me to believe that he would have treated me better? No, Aleka, no, he is not a human. He is a bloody bash who treated his mate like shit. He only cares for one thing, and that is his power and kingdom. I don't regret doing this, because I know he deserves this. He deserves to die the most painful death, and I am happy that my mate is doing justice by killing him." I can't believe her. I smiled. No, I laughed loudly. Call it hysteria. But I just can't believe this. Yes, Jane, you are right. He deserves to die, but you know why? Because he trusted you when he should have banished you along with your mate. Because he thought you were his best friend when you were his worst enemy. Because he gave away his own happiness for someone who only wanted to inflict pain on him. Yes, he deserves it, because you were not worth it. He deserves it because he never saw this coldness and darkness in these eyes, which were always shining like stars before. Aleka, are you even listening to yourself? You are defending him who rejected you, banished you, and left you to die. Yes, Jane, I am defending him because I saw that goodness in him which you couldn't. And I don't think you will ever see it because you can't see something in 20 seconds which you never saw in 20 years. Aleka, I have known you well, and I know you are pure at heart, and that's why I wanted to save you. That's why I made you promise to never come back. You expect me to be true to my promise and keep it for lifetime when you broke it within a few hours? Jane, you may have known old Aleka, but this new Aleka is not that good. I am sorry, but I can't stand betrayal. It was your decision to betray, but its vindication will be mine, And in my verdict, you will get what you gave, and that is pain. With this, I grabbed the hidden knife from my pocket and placed it in her stomach. Her eyes held mine for a few seconds, but then her body went limp and fell on the ground. Jane! Jane! The red-eyed wolf came running towards her and held her in his arms. Baby, please. No, Newt, don't close your eyes. His hands were coated in her blood, and all his cocky attitude and arrogance was brought down to pleading and sadness. And you know how I felt on seeing this? Yes, content. He didn't listen to me when I told him to either kill me then or prepare their coffins afterwards. I proved true to my word. But again, who could think that a mere human like me would be their Watts nightmare? No one in their sane mind, right? Try me with your best weapon, break me with your strongest blow, stab me with your sharpest knife, make me bleed till you harden raptures. Keep repeating till you leave nothing of me, till I am brought down to ashes. But when you stop, when your hand's worn out, when your happiness reaches the seventh cloud, then will I play my ace, then will be my time to rise from my own ashes, then will be my time to bring you as down as high you went, to bury you 6 feet under the ground. And once justice is served and the souls of innocents find peace in heaven, I will bid my farewell. Aleka, feet, Royal Blood Moonlight Pack, Ceremony Ground, 8:45 p.m., 29th December. The sky was covered in clouds as dark as the night sky. The moon was hiding behind these dark clouds, and even a single ray of moonlight couldn't penetrate. On the ground was something which looked like hell. Bloodshed was there, as far as the peripheral vision could go, and the only color which could describe it was red, just like the color of the eyes of the one who caused all this. Connecting this hell and the heaven above was a light, an electric blue color light which had the brightness to make you colorblind for a second, and decibels which could hurt you ears. This was the lightning of thunder. And the eye of this storm was standing there, inside a circle of her friends and foes. With hands tied in silver chain above her head on a pole, whips were continuously striking her body, tearing her beautiful velvety skin into multiple cracks. But such was her tolerance of pain that not even a single cry of pain escaped her lips, which further aggravated the red-eyed wolf's anger. Around her, cries of people could be heard. Cries of those people who meant the most to her even more than her own existence. Cries of that mate could be heard who was seeing his worst nightmare in front of his eyes, who was seeing his life being whipped in front of his own eyes and couldn't move a muscle to protect what was his. Cries of that brother could be heard who never said anything to those who bullied his sister. That brother who never considered her as his sister was now pleading those red eyes to kill him instead of her. Cries of that niece could be heard who was seeing her angel, her protector, leaving her alone in this cruel world. Cries of all those pack members could be heard who were seeing the girl they bullied, hated, and disgraced dying in front of them in order to protect them. The girl from whom they took everything was standing there in front of them, giving away everything left of her for them. With each whip that hit her body, the one emotion that crossed the souls of each one of them was regret. Pack doctors hurriedly took away the body of their future queen, who was stabbed by the girl who was now getting punished by the red-eyed wolf for hurting his mate. But they couldn't revive what was gone. Right? The red-eyed wolf felt the pain of getting separated from his mate. He saw her getting killed by this human in front of him. He underestimated her strength, but he was determined to amend it now. He was going to give Aleka a painful death in front of her mate. He wanted the king to feel how it felt to see your mate die in front of you. He wanted him to feel how exactly he was feeling right now. Empty. His brutal blows were making slashing sounds. He continued his assault till his hands got tired, but still he couldn't hear a single cry of pain from her lips or a single crease of pain on her forehead. What was this girl made of, he thought. A human would have died till now, but she was there binded by the chains, with head held high and eyes staring at me with hate. He ordered his men to untie her. Once the blood-dripping chain released her, her body fell down on the wet ground below. Now it was the time to break her, he thought. 5 of his men held her frail body up. One by one, they started twisting her bones at such an angles that they dislocate, starting from her tiny finger bone and ending at her ankle. Sounds of breaking could be heard, but screams of pain were missing. They left her after 10 minutes, once they were satisfied that the damage they did was permanent and couldn't be cured. During these entire 10 minutes, Aaron's wet eyes never left her. He was proud of her ability to not display her pain, to not beg for her life, but at the same time, he was afraid of the extent of it. Till when could she hold on? His wolf was trying to take control, but each time he shifted, the silver chains forced him to shift back. His body was moving towards her with the little strength left in him. But this movement only took him a few inches further when his destination was meters away. When they left her after breaking all the major bones in her body again fell down. But the angles at which her body laid on the ground raided terror in everyone's heart. Her arms, legs were twisted in such positions that people closed their eyes, unable to see such a horrid view. The thunder, the lightning, all stopped, making silence fill in this deadly night. She was broken beyond repair now. Her body was as lifeless as a corpse. Numbness washed her every muscle. The only thing still working right now was her brain. Her eyes could no longer stay open, and as soon as her bloodshot eyes closed, everyone felt the pain in their hearts. Aaron screamed her name as he felt his wolf going crazy. Aleka! Nu! Uck! Up! Yo, you can't leave me. We need you, Aleka. Please, please. Open your eyes. Look at me, please. I bega. Look at me. Aaron's voice reached her ears, but couldn't reach her brain, because in her brain a fight of its own was going on. Please, Aleka. Open your eyes. Dan had his eyes still fixed on her face, unable to believe what he was seeing. He was not ready to believe that his little Aleka had died. Wow, so dramatic, don't you think? She hurted my mate, my Jane, and you expected me to leave her? No, she had this coming. But I must say she was a very nice person. Giving away her life for useless people like you requires courage. But I am glad her death was as silent as her existence. Not even a single whimper escaped her lips, although my torture. Well, now her chapter is closed forever. Why don't we move to the next target now? His men grabbed Aaron and held him up. But Aaron could care less about his death. Her closed eyes were his only focus. He could care less that in few minutes he was going to reach where she was if he didn't did something. The red-eyed wolf held a silver knife in his hand and made his way towards the werewolf king. Just one stab at his beating heart and the entire werewolf kingdom will be his. All his power will be his. People will fear him and worship him at the same time. He will get what he desired his whole life. Respect. But the thing he didn't know was respect is earned, not acquired. And a beast like him would never be respected. If the red-eyed wolf came to the power of the king, the only repercussion will be their end. The end of all humans and wolves. The end of all good in this world. The end of heaven and the beginning of hell on this beautiful world that Moon Goddess made. This one stab into King's heart was all it would take. And he thought there was no obstacle in this. He thought it was easy. But he didn't know that Moon Goddess has already sent to this world the protector of Man-King. Ezra was her name. In the battlefield at the corner, a body was lying immobile, which all thought was dead. Her eyes were closed, but her mind was in a turmoil. Aleka knew she couldn't die because she had Ezra with her. Yes, Ezra. The strongest wolf ever born on this earth. The wolf gifted with elements of nature. The wolf gifted with thunder. Ezra was the name of the wolf who was merciless, who was so powerful that her strength couldn't be controlled and she made her a murderer of innocents. Ezra was the thunder wolf. In Aleka's mind, a battle was going on which the world was oblivious of. A battle of minds where Ezra was ready to take control and Aleka was not ready to give it. But Aleka also knew that Ezra could be their savior. She would save them when she couldn't. But the one thing which she couldn't trust her wolf with was control. But this was her last resort. Last resort to save Aaron. Last resort to save this world. With this thought, Aleka decided to break the barrier. A barrier which a witch has placed 7 years back to keep Ezra hidden. A barrier which controlled Ezra's uncontrollable power. a barrier which made everyone think that Aleka was a human. This barrier was going to be broken because Aleka had no choice left now. Ezra, I need you. Aaron needs you. A loud roar of anger could be heard in her mind. Grr. Ezra, please listen to me. I am breaking the barrier, but first I need you to promise me that you will control your strength. After a few seconds of silence, I heard her reply. Aleka yo. Just let me out. I don't want to be controlled by you. Her voice was so rough, and she couldn't find words to express herself because she hasn't spoken in the last 7 years. Please, Ezra. First, please promise me. I cannot see innocents die because you couldn't control yourself. Our relation was not like a normal wolf's relation with her human counterpart. I hated her killing innocents, and she hated me for blocking and controlling her. But how could I give her control when his strength surpassed her? I know you hate me, Ezra, but please consider this my last wish. Just please save them. I don't hate you, it's just that I want to be let out. But you do let me, I can't promise, but I'll try, Aleka. She has the right to hate me. I would also hate a person who forced me to stay in darkness for 7 years of my life, not able to communicate with anyone, not even with her mate's wolf. I would also go insane. Boo still, she said she would try, made me happy. Her trying only was the most she could do, and now, I guess it was her time to take matters in her hands. Thank you, Ezra. Please forgive me if possible for what all I did to you. Now my time has come, and I am leaving my trust in you. Please complete what I couldn't. Please be the savior of mankind. I was going to open the barrier when I heard her last words. Don't worry, Aleka, unless Ezra is alive, no one harm the ones you care for. With this, I reversed the spell that was cast and broke the barrier in between us. The red-eyed wolf was making his way towards Aaron, ready to stab him with knife and take over his throne. But before he could do so, a storm arises. Winds start blowing in a circular direction around the circle where they were standing. The sky, which was silent few minutes ago, started roaring with loud thunders. Strikes of lightning could be seen all around them in all the directions. Ground on which they stood started shaking with the lightning that was striking the ground around them. Circular winds were forming the shape of a hurricane. Leaves, pebbles, small objects were all flying around them in a circle, and a blue light was forming around them. Everyone was now fearing only one thing, and that was death. They were fearing the wrath of this disaster of nature. The one thing which made everyone believe that their death was near was the aura. The aura so powerful that even grown-ups pissed their pants on feeling it. The aura so dangerous that it could make the devil himself shake in fear from it. The aura so deadly that a person could hear the cries of innocence in it. This was the aura of Thunderwolf, who has now emerged with only one motive, and that was vengeance. The only person not afraid of it was the Alpha King, for whom this aura was his heaven. He could smell that beautiful scent of peach blossoms from this deadly aura, which he longed for his entire life. He could feel his wolf reviving on sniffing it. He could feel his wounds healing like magic. He could feel that one thing which he thought never existed, Aleka's wolf. The red-eyed wolf could feel this aura and winds emerging from something behind him. He was the only red-eyes wolf ever known. He never thought anyone could defeat him. He never thought anyone was capable of that much strength. But today, this aura made him doubt it. It made him realize that there was someone who could give him a competition. He turned around to see who this competition was. And what he saw made his blood run cold. He saw the girl he thought he killed a few minutes back, standing on her feet, with small sparks of blue light emerging from her body. But the one thing he couldn't take his eyes off were those shining blue eyes which were as dark as the night a few minutes back. You reprimanded me for everything I did. You demoralized me for every try I made. You degraded me every time I thought I achieved something. You pulled me down for every step I climbed. I don't know what it gave you, but I got my soul broken by it, my heart cold, my body numb by it, and my innocence lost by it. You made me leave my everything. You threw me unguarded in a forest of killers. You made me fight for survival. You made me realize my true potential. I don't know if I should blame you for everything you took from me or thank you for everything you made me today. Either way, I will be there whenever you need me. I will protect you when you broke me. I will save you when you killed me. Not because I am a good person. No, that's not it. It's because I was taught to return. Pain with smile, darkness with light, and hatred with love. The bystanders had never witnessed such form of nature. They had seen thunderstorms before, but this surpassed their intensity. It looked like this was not a natural storm controlled by nature, but a storm enraged by the person standing in front of them with blue eyes and blue sparks all over her body. They asked for a miracle, for a savior, but the thing standing in front of them was neither of them. She was a nightmare, which only brought one thing wherever it went: destruction. They suspected her to be that thing, guessing from the thunder striking everywhere. Their suspicion turned into belief when they saw her shifting. When they saw the innocent, weak human with bright blue light change into a double-sized jet-black wolf with shining blue eyes, their suspicions got confirmed that indeed she was the one and only Thunder Wolf. With winds circling around them at deadly speed, thunderbolts hitting land around them, and blue light surrounding them, they all felt that they all were standing in a circle, in the circle of death. The red-eyed wolf never felt threatened ever before, but today the power of this freak of nature made him doubt his strength. He changed into his wolf form and growled at the Thunder Wolf, but the reply he got was not in the form of a growl, but a roar of thunder which shook the ground beneath his feet. Both the wolves were staring into each other's eyes. Red versus blue, but none was ready to attack first. The red-eyed wolf kept circling the Thunder Wolf. But the Thunder Wolf didn't even move an inch or tilt her head. She could sense every movement of this red-eyed wolf and didn't felt the need to look at him to predict his move. The red-eyed wolf, being the backstabber that he was, tried to attack the Thunder Wolf from behind. But before his jaws could even touch her, she turned around and growled at him. The red-eyed wolf leaped on him, and both the wolves rolled on the ground, scratching, biting, kicking each other. No one could see who was winning, as both had fur as dark as the night sky on a new moon. They could only see blood flowing on the ground, mixing with the blood of innocence lying all around them. Thunder Wolf was seeing red from her blue eyes. She was seeing all the evils done by the sea's red eyes and was determined to send him to hell today. Whereas the red-eyed wolf was seeing those blue eyes, which were the only obstacle to him becoming the king. Both had their own motives, but one thing linked them, and that was the thirst to kill. 1 second a wound would open, and the other second it would get healed. This continued for a long period where no one was being proved to be victorious. But then a strange thing happened. All of a sudden, the lightning flashes turned into fire. The forest surrounding them got covered in flames of fire, and the strong winds blowing around them died down. Everyone now realized what they all heard was true. No one is able to describe how the Thunder Wolf looks or how he kills. No one survives to tell this, and they feared that they will have a similar fate. Past will repeat itself, and they all will die. The two wolves were now fighting on the edge of the fire. The red-eyed wolf's eyes were akin to balls of fire. They were no longer red, but were burning red with yellow flames. Soon his black fur got surrounded by flames of fire. It looked like he was burning in fire, but the truth was that he was actually controlling it. He was an elemental too, with the element of fire. Fire all around them was the doing of this red-eyed wolf. The flames were enveloping their circle, and everyone could feel its heat. In no time, this fire would burn all of them and leave nothing behind. Aaron's wolf was asking to be let out. He recovered once his mate changed into her wolf form, and now the only thing he wanted to do was to protect her. Alistair, Aaron's wolf, helped healing majority of Aaron's wounds, except the ones on his wrists where silver chains were burning his skin. Alistair took control, and on turning into his white wolf, the silver chains binding him broke free, releasing him. He started attacking all the guards who were holding his people hostage. One by one, dead bodies started falling on the ground, adding to the number already lying there. This was not just a fight for survival, but a fight to protect humanity, a fight of good versus evil. But the thing was that in this, you couldn't distinguish good and evil. The Thunder Wolf was an evil creature. She was the killer of innocence. Then how could they all trust her to be their hero? How could they trust her to be good? Ezra's Pav, the Thunder Wolf. He was not an ordinary wolf. He was a fire elemental. Flames of fire were all around me, and my thunder was dying down because of exhaustion. I never thought Moon Goddess made someone similar to me, but today I was seeing the similarities. He was as strong as me with those powerful blows and burning flames. He could produce fire with his hands, like I could create thunder with my mind. Yes, mind. I send electronic signals to my brain, which further intensifies them and sends them upwards with 100 times stronger wavelength and amplitude, and that's how my mind controls this storm and thunder. I saw a white wolf with royal marking on his forehead fighting along with me, defeating the guards of this red-eyed wolf. I felt elated. Elated to see my mate after so long, and I must admit he was a complete contrast to me with pure white fur. He was truly the most beautiful wolf I had ever seen in my life. I just wanted a simple life with my mate and me, living happily ever after. But again, we rarely get what we wish for in life. Life has its own set of trials for us, and at every step we are tested. It's our choice to accept it and enjoy the journey, or to blame and accuse our fate for every bad thing that happens to us. But maybe after this war is over, I think me and Aaron could start over again. We could cover up whatever we missed. But will he accept the Thunder Wolf as his mate? I got so distracted by these thoughts that I didn't realize that the red-eyed wolf jumped on me and pinned me down. I was lying on the ground, and he was showing me his canines ready to sink them into my skin. I wrinkled, kicked, roared, but everything was in vain. His position gave him an upper hand. I felt a burning sensation on my skin to see him attacking me with his fire. My front legs were burning in fire, and the burning made me cry in pain. His grip on my legs didn't loosen, and now I knew that damage caused by it was going to be permanent. My front legs got numb in pain, and recovering them would require all of my left energy, which I couldn't afford to loose now. What I was going to do next will be my last chance. I don't know if I will manage to make out of it, but trying was my last option now. I have never done this before. But as they say, desperate times call for desperate measures. I have to do it now. And with this, I closed my eyes and focused all my power on a single strike of thunder. All the lightning stopped, all the winds died down, all the noise ended, followed by a deadly silence. My body was aching from the energy leaving my body. Each and every cell protested, but I focused this energy at only one point. To a single strike of thunder, I knew the repercussions of this, but I also understood what such a situation required. They require a sacrifice, and I was ready to give one. I was still pinned down. He had a smile of victory on his face, but I guess no one told him that we should not celebrate until we prove victorious. I promised Aleka to not lose control, and I fulfilled it. But my second promise of keeping everyone safe was still incomplete. The red-eyed wolf mind-linked me. Any last wishes? I passed him a smile as I directed all my energy into the blue strike of thunder, which was coming his way from behind his back. Yes, your death. And with this, the thunder strike went straight through his body, entering through his brain, the heat and electricity roasting each and every cell of his body and leaving through his paws. Next, his own fire engulfed him, and his electrocuted body was burned down to ashes. I should be happy that I won. But I was not, as my motive was not his death, but the protection of people. The people who were now burning with the flames of the fire that this red-eyed wolf left. I could see the fire spreading around me, people shouting and getting burnt. My body could feel the heat, but I couldn't move a muscle to save them. My last move made me an empty shell. Watching the full moon above me, I felt helpless. I, the Thunder Wolf, felt useless for the first time. I know that I may die in a few minutes, because my last attack took away everything from me, but still before dying, I just wanted to complete the promise I made with Aleka. I just wanted to save these people. I just wanted to see smiles on their faces. Was it too much to ask Moon Goddess? Was asking for others' happiness too much? Don't I deserve even a bit of happiness? I know I deserve to go to hell for killing those innocents. But before taking me there, can't you let me see heaven for a minute? Don't I deserve it? I felt sparks. I looked up to see those baby blue eyes. Aaron, he held my wolf form in his arms, and it felt like I could forget all my pain by just looking into his baby blue eyes. He was saying something, but I couldn't understand him. My senses were getting weaker and weaker with every passing second. His face looked worried, desperate, and scared. He was scared of my death. Slowly and slowly, while looking at him, I stopped feeling the sparks of his touch on mine. But before I could close my eyes and go to hell forever, I saw water droplets falling from the sky. The fire around me died down as water droplets poured over it. I just then realized that this was Moon Goddess's reply. She showed me my heaven by showing me Aaron, and she fulfilled my promise to Aleka to saving these people by pouring down rain on this fire of death. A smile came on my lips knowing that I fulfilled my promises, saved humanity, and ended evil. In the end, good won over evil. And I was happy that Moon Goddess decided me to be the one to serve this justice. And now, as my purpose was fulfilled, it was my time to take my leave. With a content heart, victorious smile, and heaven-like view in front of me, I drifted into darkness. My mistake, my regrets, her sorrow, her requests, her pleading, her desperation, my ego, my ignorance. She was my angel when I was her devil. She was my savior when I was her murderer. Her eyes held love when mine held hatred. Her hands acted as my protector when mine stabbed her with a knife. Her goodness was brought to light when the dark veil of misconceptions got lifted from me eyes. And now, when I can see her goodness in light, her eyes are closed in darkness. If only I could revert back time. If only I could set things right. This regret is killing me from inside. Her innocent face is making me cry, and with each teardrop that is falling on her face, I am repeating one thing again and again. I love you, Aleka. I love you. By Aaron Alastair King. Aaron's Pav. I never thought such a day would come in my life, when I will be filled with this overflowing emotion called regret. I always thought that the decisions taken by me always served justice. Being the Chief Justice of Werewolf Community, I always thought that not once was my decision wrong, but how wrong I was. I couldn't even serve justice to my mate, let alone the entire community. And now when I have realized this, I just wanted to punish myself for every wrong I did to her. So here I am going all berserk, knocking down all the trees around me, growling at every person who tries to touch her, drawing blood by scratching myself with my own claws and screaming so loudly that even the ground on which I am standing is shaking. While I am going all insane, her body is lying motionless on the ground in peace. Her wolf has changed back into her human body. Both her arms have burn marks on them, and her once velvety skin is covered in bruises and cuts. I just want her to open her eyes and look at me. I promise I will end this madness if she opens them. If not, this madness will continue. This all will continue until I reach where she is now. Until I destroy myself to achieve the peace in which she is now. Until I die to meet her in heaven above. Alpha, please, stop. Aaron, control yourself. Please don't harm yourself. We need you, Alpha King. You will kill yourself, Aaron. These are the voices around me, but I am oblivious to them. The only voice I can hear is that of her. No, Alpha, please don't even say that word. I'll be a good mate, I promise. Just give me a chance, please, just one chance. I love you, Aaron. Always had and always will, till my last breath, because you are not only my mate but my soul, and until my soul leaves me, this love will never die. Please believe me, I didn't kill her. Re was, a red-eyed wolf he did. Please, save me, Aaron. With time you will forget that I even existed. Don't worry, time heals everything. All her words were repeating in my mind again and again. I continued to scratch myself, trying to stop her voice, but it kept on repeating. By now, everyone was scared. Scared that the Alpha King will kill himself if they didn't do something. But what could they do when they couldn't even step near me, let alone touch me? I could feel blood oozing out of my fresh wounds. But this blood further aggravated my anger. It urged me to draw more and more. I knew I was going insane, but I couldn't control it. Aleka said that her soul was linked to me. Today I realized that indeed it was true. Our souls were interconnected, and we were not just mates, but also soulmates. Voices in my head kept repeating the past. Aaron, I love you. Aaron, please save me. I reject you, Aleka Gray. I will break you, Aleka. I hate you. Aaron, please trust me. You will forget me, Aaron. No, no, no. I was shouting, banging my head against the tree bark, trying to stop these voices. Then amongst these I heard something which was not related to the past but present. Aaron P. Lee, Asa, stop. I am here with you. I am all right. I turned around frantically, looking at her body. Her eyes were still closed, but I saw her chest was slightly moving up and down. I rushed towards her and held her face in my bloody hands. Aleka, you are. Tear? Can you hear me? Her face showed nothing, pale as ashes, but then I heard her mind link. Yes, Aaron, I can hear. You. All my madness and insanity stopped. She was alive. She was alive. Everyone gathered around us. They were looking at us, but they couldn't understand the reasons to my actions. Her body was not responding, but her mind was. She was there with me. My Aleka was with me. She didn't leave me. But there was something wrong with her. It was like she was in a lot of pain, but couldn't tell me what was wrong. Her body was still cold as ice. No one believed me when I said she was alive. They thought it was my hallucination. They thought I had gone insane. But how could I doubt when I heard her voice in my mind? There was just one thing that could prove me right. The pack doctors. 2 hours later, third person POV. In the pack hospital, the doctors were operating on Aleka's body. They had never seen something, rather someone like her before. She had so many internal injuries, but something in her blood healed all of them. Like some magic. But when they tested her blood samples, it resembled a normal human's blood. It was like earlier her blood had magical properties, but now there was nothing special. She didn't even have werewolf healing properties now. Her brain was working for sure, but her body was too weak to move a muscle. They did her entire body scan. Everything would heal with time except her arms. They were having third-degree burns, which would leave her scarred forever. But this was not it. The fire had burned her arm tissues and stopped all her muscle movement, making her arms lose their purpose. They couldn't say if they will ever work properly because it'd take days, months, years, or forever for those tissues to work again. As the doctors came out, their king was waiting impatiently for them. Doctor, is she all right? Don't worry, Your Majesty, she is fine, but I need to talk to you about something. If you could please follow me to my office. The doctor told Aaron everything, all about her healing and her arm's hindrance. He patiently listened to everything the doctor said. Now when he knew his mate was fine, he returned to his normal self. Sitting near her bed, holding her now scarred hands in his, he looked at his angel. He was waiting to see those onyx-colored eyes stare at him. Aleka's POV. Ezra, you there? I was feeling her pain after her final attack, but I couldn't get her to respond. The only few voices I heard were that of her crying in pain. Ezra, are you all right? Al, Ki, I have served my purpose and fulfilled my promise. I am sorry, but I can't stay with you. Can no longer hold on. No, Ezra, don't say that. You have to hold on. You can't leave me now. I need you. Al, Ika, only one of us can live. You have already paid for my sins, but not now. You deserve a high life. You deserve Aaron, and today I break you from me. Today I give your freedom to live a normal life. Now I will take my leave. I am sorry I couldn't support you like when you needed me, but you will be better with me, not on your side. Bye. Aleka. The cloud of darkness is lifted now, and your future is now filled with only bright light. Ezra, wait. You can't leave me like that. We are in this together. You just can't go, please. Bye, Aleka. Also give my share of love to Aaron and Alistair, Aaron's wolf. With this, the only thing that followed was silence. I called her again and again, but was only replied by her silence. Ezra had left my body. It felt like a strong power left me. Even after all the evil things she did, she was still my angel, my savior. Her intentions were never wrong. It was just lack of control and skills. And today, she overcame this weakness by controlling her power all along and not the other way round. The Thunderwolf at last bid her farewell. I was always ashamed to acknowledge her as my wolf, but today she filled my heart with pride. I was proud to say that indeed the Thunder Wolf was my wolf. The savior of this world was my Ezra. And even if she left me, even if the Thunder Wolf bid her farewell, she will forever live in our hearts. Her heroic actions will always inspire thousands of generations to come. Her selflessness will always pave the way for goodness in this world. Now, as Ezra left my body, I couldn't recover. I was now just a mere human. I tried moving my body, but I was drained of energy. With the little energy left, I mind-linked Aaron, and after that, my mind and body both gave out. 3 days later, I woke up to feel someone holding my hand. When I looked up and saw those blue eyes staring at me with concern and happiness, Aaron, a smile appeared on his lips on hearing his name from my lips. He didn't say anything, but continued to shower my knuckles with feather-like kisses. I smiled back on seeing him. I tried to hold his face in my hands, but when I tried to move my arms, it was like they didn't had any sensation. I could see his kisses, but couldn't feel them. All my happiness vanishes when I saw my hands, and when my vision shifted towards my arms, I felt disgusted. Both my arms were covered in burn marks. My once pale, soft skin was now covered in dark, rough patched. But this was not the worst part. The worst part was that I couldn't feel them. I moved my head to the left, unable to look into Aaron's eyes. I was no match for him. I didn't deserve such a beautiful person as my mate. What will others say when they find out that the king's queen is a mere human, and that also a handicapped one? He can find a better queen than me. He can find someone more prettier and stronger. I can't be with him. I can't even move on my own. I can't even manage myself. How could I stand by his side and manage an entire werewolf kingdom? No, he deserves someone better. All these thoughts made tears fall from my eyes. I could feel them flowing down my cheeks and making the pillow damp. I just couldn't stop them. My emotions were overflowing now. And just when I tried to wipe away my tears, my hand's immobility made me again realize how helpless and in pitiful condition I was. But then I felt his hands wiping away my tears. His hands were doing the work of my hands. He held my face in his palms and made me look into his eyes. Aleka, I am here. Shh! Don't cry. I will stand by you forever. No, Aaron, I can't be yours. You deserve the best. You are the best, Aleka. You don't know how much I have longed to see these eyes, to feel this touch, to feel this sparks, to claim what is mine. And now, when God gave you back to me, I promise to cherish you, to protect you, to love you. Don't look away, Aleka. I want to look into your beautiful eyes. I want to see them looking at me with love. No, Aaron, you are blinded by your emotions. Think logically. What will others say? They will laugh at you. They will kill you with their mean words. And no one knows that feeling better than me. Please, Jew. I don't care what others say. They can go to hell for all I care. I will not die with their words, but will surely die if you leave me again. My love for you is not so shallow, Aleka. I was blinded by hate and revenge before, but now as I see things in light, no one can separate you from me. Not even you. Aaron, please, just please, don't make it difficult for me. By marking Jane, our bond has already weakened. I just need to accept your rejection to break everything between us. You can find yourself your queen, and I will go and live in the human world. Find my queen? Aleka, you can't be serious about this. Only you will be my queen. Only you. His anger was getting on surface. He was determined to make me his queen, but why couldn't he see my condition? My hindrance will be a burden on him. I will be a shame on him. Enough of thinking and saying, Aleka, you will not think about one more thing now, only I will speak and you will listen. You are my strength, Aleka. All those years without you were like a prison, and with every day that passed and the probability of you coming back decreased, my strength gave away. Only when you came back, I realized the power you had on me. I wouldn't have let you escape, but you did. I frantically searched for you, but there was no trace of you. When my strength gave out, I just had one thing with me. Hope. Hope that you will come back. And you did came back risking your own life for me and my people. You did came back and saved me when I was stuck in the jaws of death. You did came back when I needed you. And now, when you need me, you are asking me to leave you. No, Aleka, I want my strength with me throughout my life. I want you with me. His face was getting closer to me. His closeness was making my stomach do somersault. My senses were in high alert, and my face was turning few shade redder. Aaron, I beg you, please, leave me. I could feel his breath on my neck, and his closeness was making me hold my breath. His powerful and heavenly cologne was making me addicted to it like a drug, and my eyes were closing automatically. Shh! Princesses don't beg, and you, my mate, are not just a princess, but my queen. With this, I felt his teeth on my neck. As his bite went deeper, our bond strengthened forever, and our fate was sealed for eternity. From now on, I couldn't leave him because now my neck bare the royal mark of the king of werewolves, Aaron Alastair King. He made me his forever, just like he was mine. I was his queen, and he was my king. The events that unfolded on the day of the demise of Red-Eyed Wolf were witnessed by the pack members of the Royal Blood Moonlight Park. They were all asked not to say a word about this to any outsider by their king, but someone went against him. But the worst part was that the details of the events that spread around were distorted and false. Truth would have made everyone appreciate the heroism of the Thunder Wolf, but half-truth made the Thunder Wolf sound as a villain whose hands had blood of innocence, the one who was a dangerous animal and who all wanted to be executed with the most painful death ever known to wolfkind. The day of the court's verdict was decided, 28th of January. This day was eagerly awaited by everyone. Everyone wanted justice to be served. No one knew who Thunder Wolf was and how he looked like. Her last act of heroism was hidden from all. They just heard that the Thunder Wolf had surrendered, and they were ready to turn into a mob if this wolf was not killed in front of them. Revenge and half-truth blinded them, and they were not going to settle at anything less than her blood. This was the first time that werewolf community gathered together for one purpose. All packs, alphas, betas, omegas, and even rogues were coming to witness the verdict of the most dangerous wolf ever known to exist. Aaron Alastair King was considered the god of justice, and everyone worshipped and adored him like a true god. In this case also they all wanted their king to serve justice, just like he always did. But little did they know what this prisoner meant to the king. Little did they know that they were asking their king to give a death sentence to his queen, to their own queen. 28th of January, 2018, the day of verdict, Akasuk, Alaska, Royal Courtroom. The biggest courtroom was filled to its full capacity. Chattering of people could be heard. People of all ranks, alphas of all packs were seated. Thousands of people were standing outside the courtroom, burning with the rage of revenge. A special bench of 20 most eldest alphas was called, and they all were seated in their places awaiting the arrival of the king, the majesty. All sounds died down when their king stepped into the courtroom. Everyone bowed down as he made his way on the red carpet towards his royal throne. The weight of the royal crown on his head and the royal mate mark on his wrist placed him in a dilemma. His red velvet cloak touched the ground as he ascended his throne. Once he was seated, everyone took their seats. The king's royal blue eyes met the eyes of the presenter of the case, and with one blink, the presenter got his signal to start the biggest and the most important case he had ever presented. Welcome all. The case to be presented today is numbered N51011, and the penal codes revoked by the accused are Penal 101, 124, 154, and 300, which stand for murder of innocent, wrong use of power, mass destruction, and attempt to infuse fear in the minds of local people. The name of accused is Aleka Reynolds Gray. The other name commonly known to all is the Thunder Wolf. Now next, the accused is required to be present in front of court to begin with the hearing process. The sound of a door opening could be heard, and everyone's eyes were fixed on the person who would step in. They all expected a beast-like, ugly-looking man to step in, but what they saw made their eyes to jump out of their sockets. The sunlight seeping through the large windows fell on her face as she took a step forward from the darkness. They were all mesmerized by her beauty. Those innocent black eyes made them dive in their depths. Her skin shined like diamonds. She looked like a queen walking towards her throne. But the iron chains hanging on her neck and binding her hands revealed that she indeed was a prisoner and nothing more. The guards behind her nudged her to move, and her tiny body got into motion. Those burned arms were on full display, but no one saw them, as they were preoccupied with being captivated by her angelic face and innocent eyes. Her body was swaying, showing how difficult it was for her drained body to carry the weight of the heavy shackles. With slow, unbalanced, shaking steps, she reached the box in which her life's decision would be taken few minutes from now. The Thunder Wolf, the most brutal killer, the beast, the killer of innocence, was this girl? No one could believe this. Deadly silence filled the courtroom as everyone was trying to digest this shocking truth. Only the members of the Alpha's pack who saw her fight and kill the red-eyed wolf believed. In this deadly silence, where everyone's attention was fixed on her, her eyes only linked with those royal blue ones. She could see the dilemma in them. Conflict of interest was evident. On one side was his mate, and the other side was his duty to the crown that was placed on his head. But she wanted him to forget who she was and do the one thing at which he is the best, serving justice. And his justice will be accepted by her with open hands. Those who seek revenge will get it, and she was willing to even die today if they wanted it. She had surrendered not only herself but also her life and soul. If this was just, she was willing to give it. The presenter of the case spoke to her, making her break her eyes contact with the king. "Miss Aleka, are you ready for the hearing to begin?" "Yes," she replied in her low, angelic voice. Everyone's eyes were fixed on her, still not able to believe that the Thunder Wolf was not only a girl but this beauty in front of them. Charged with the murder of 4 entire packs, death toll reaching 2450 people, responsible for killing 5 alphas in cold blood, and also previously banished for killing our prior queen, aka our king's mother. I present before all of you the main accused, Aleka Gray. Do you, Aleka Gray, accept all the accusations imposed over you? Her eyes looked straight into the eyes of the presenter who asked her this question. Without any explanations, without any defense, she simply replied, "Yes, I do." "Do you have any reason behind your actions, or was it done out of cold blood?" Her eyes were closed and her breathing heavy. Her silence accused her of so many things, but she couldn't just explain them. She had already accused herself for her wolf's inhuman deeds, and without even a trial, she was ready for her execution. Your silence accuses you of cold-blood murder of thousands of people. Do you still don't want to say anything in your defense? Her silence made the king sitting on the throne clench his hand in a fist. His knuckles were white, showing the anger building up inside him. He had told her to explain everything, every single thing to the judges, and here she was standing silently asking for a death wish. He couldn't intervene, his throne wouldn't allow him to, but he expected her to explain her innocence. His angry eyes were fixed on her face. He wanted to look into them to find the reason for her silence, but she refused to open them. Silence continued, and the presenter moved on to the next question. Everyone was now filled with rage. This angelic beauty was a deception. She was a beast in the facade of an angel, they thought. Her silence made them remember their hatred towards her. Aleka Gray is hereby found guilty of killing innocents in cold blood. Now I would like the elders to ask her any questions and then announce her punishment. Aleka's tiny body was supporting on to the wooden structure of the box. Her hands were there in front of her, but she couldn't use them. These handcuffs were in vain. She couldn't feel her arms. How could she feel these handcuffs? She refused to meet the eyes of the king. Her head was bowed down and her eyes fixed on her hands. She knew she was defying Aaron, but she had her reasons. Aaron was respected and loved by all. Her association with him will only tarnish and humiliate him in front of everyone, and she would never want it. Her downfall was well known to her when she killed the first innocent soul, but she would never bring Aaron down with her. He earned the respect people gave him in so many years, and she will not let it be ruined by her declaration. If her silence will make people respect him and hate her, she was willing to be silent till her last breath. Aleka Gray, why did you attack the packs? There would be a reason behind it, right? One elder asked her. I couldn't control my wolf. Her power was too strong to be controlled. The entire courtroom entered into discussions. This was very rare. Wolves were always considered to be loyal and obedient to their human parts. They all didn't believe her, and this was what Aleka expected. Are you saying that you defaulted in controlling your wolf, who caused such amount of destruction? Yes, sir. Well, then, Miss Aleka, you must have followed Code Rule 118, which clearly says that if at any point of life you feel that your wolf is overpowering you, you are required to come to us elders directly so that your wolf can be subdued. Didn't you thought of approaching us before? No, sir, I didn't wanted to subdue my wolf. Miss Aleka, breaking Rule 118 is punishable with death. You are aware of this, right? Yes, sir. And still you refuse to come to us? She remained silent, showing her acceptance. Is your wolf still there? Another elder asked. No, sir. She died a few days back. You yourself said she was a very powerful wolf. Then how come she died? Also, these burn marks on your arms look fresh. Are they related? A few days back we fought with a wolf. My wolf sacrificed herself to protect me. And yes, these burns are from that fight only. The elders discussed with each other, ready to give their final decision. Aleka Gray, you had the choice of abiding the law and following the penal code, but you refused. You may have not done it intentionally, but still you have blood of innocence on your hands, and for killing thousands of them, it would be just if you also get the same fate. Everyone in the court and around the courtroom wanted this. They wanted justice, and it would take just a wrong decision by these elders to turn them into an angry mob. On hearing this, applauses and acceptance could be heard all around. They all were happy to know that the Thunder Wolf will get punished for her deeds. So, Aleka Gray, you are found guilty of killing innocents, and as your punishment, you will be executed in the city center in the presence of all. Your punishment will be carried out in 3 levels. Level 1 being electrocution, Level 2 lethal injection, and finally Level 3 of beheading. That's enough, roared a voice, making everyone to shake in fear. Everyone automatically bowed their heads in respect of their king. Even with head bowed, they all could feel his power and anger radiating in waves. But the question was that what was the reason of the most composed and calm person to lose his control? The presenter managed to ask in a shaky voice, "Wu ats, do you are ong my lord? Did we do some ething wrong?" Yes, indeed, you all did. You all are accusing an innocent of such barbaric crimes. You are finding ways of murdering a person who risked her own life, who lost her wolf to protect you all. If she hadn't been there, you all must have burned down to ashes, and I would have been long dead. If still you want to kill her, go ahead, kill her. But remember, you will kill your king along with her. You will kill your king's mate. You all will kill your queen. Deadly silence followed. No one uttered a single word for a few minutes. Their queen. This beauty was their queen. The king was mated to her. To this human, no one could believe this. But what was the king saying about her being their savior? Well, a lot of secrets were yet to be relieved. This beauty in front of them was a puzzle, and they all were hell-bound to solve it. They wanted to solve the mystery of this girl in shackles whose deeds made her a beast, but her face displayed beauty. Only time will tell them that was she actually a beautiful angel or a destructor. Was she their destroyer or protector? Should I believe what I see, or should I believe what I hear? Should I judge a book by its cover, or should I read 100s of pages to be fair? Let me collect evidences to what I hear. Let me confirm what I see is real. Then will I decide what is just. Then will I decide what is fair. A deadly silence engulfed the courtroom as the king's relation to the black-haired beauty got revealed. Mates. That's what they were. And on knowing this, the tongues of many ed-mouthed haters got trapped, not daring to speak evil about someone who meant so much to their king. Yes, she is my mate and your queen, but disregarding our holy bond, I am willing to punish her if she is at fault here. Justice comes above everything for me, and you all know this really well. But before I punish her, I need strong evidence against her, either for or against her. So I would like to call upon few members of my pack who have witnessed everything with their own eyes. Aleka refused to meet his eyes as he spoke against everyone for her. She knew he will not stop at anything now. He will throw his cards one by one to reveal the truth about every single thing. And that's what he did. For the next 30-minute, evidences kept coming one by one. One by one, her good deeds were displayed. The words her pack members told the entire court made her heart swell up with happiness and thankfulness. She protected us. She saved my family from that monster. We found hope in her. Her bravery and courage should be written down in the pages of history. The sacrifice her wolf did should be appreciated, not punished. Aleka was overwhelmed on hearing her pack members, the ones who always hated her, talk so highly of her. The next words which Dan spoke left her as a sobbing mess on the red carpet of the courtroom floor. I am ashamed to call myself Aleka's brother, not because she doesn't deserve me. No, it's because I don't deserve her. When I lost my younger sister, Nova, I was such a coward. I couldn't accept that I couldn't save my sister, so I started blaming Aleka for everything. I started blaming her for every bad thing that happened to me. I bullied her. I hated her. I neglected her. When as a brother, I was supposed to protect her, love her, and take care of her. Day by day, our entire pack broke her piece by piece. Her beautiful smile got replaced by endless tears. Those eyes, which were always shining with happiness, turned into cold, lifeless, dark orbs. That girl who couldn't sleep without her teddy bear slept hugging herself in the dark dungeons. The girl who got scared on the slightest sound of thunder was forced to sleep under the thunder and rain without a roof. The girl who learned how to walk, holding my pinky finger, fell down when this hand only pushed her down the stairs. The girl who thought this world was full of magic and rainbows came to realize what evil and thunderstorms meant. She came to know that her brother, her superhero who she adored the most, was actually a villain. Her world of fairies got killed by monsters, and I admit that I was one of these monsters. This continued till one day she was banished for killing our queen. I trusted the evidences instead of my heart, which kept on saying that how come a little girl who cried all night after a butterfly died kill a human? She was gone. And then did I realize that I had lost my other youngest sister. Then did I realize what kind of a monster I was to her. I had lost all the hope of her return, but she did return. Those rarest of rare, black onyx-like eyes were staring at me once again. The thing that surprised me was that after so many years of my hate towards her, her eyes still held love and adoration for me. And that was when I first realized that I didn't deserve her. I was ashamed to look into her eyes. I was ashamed to ask for sorry because I knew that a sorry couldn't just bring back all that I took from her. Then one day she left again, just like she came. And that day only we saw that red-eyed wolf who Aleka always warned us about. We all saw him kill anyone who came in his way to his throne. We all saw our death in the eyes of this fire monster. But then our angel came to protect us. This angel was none other than Aleka and her elemental wolf Ezra, who laid down her life to protect us. Today, standing here, I want to admit all the atrocities I did on my sister. Today, I have gathered enough courage to beg for forgiveness. So, Aleka, I know I don't deserve this, but still I just can't find happiness without you. Will you, Aleka, forgive your Danny for everything he did? Will you give me back my sister, my happiness to me? He said, and saw her break down in sobs. He went towards her and engulfed her in a bone-crushing hug. Tears were running down their faces, and like this, all their painful memories got washed away. After the witnesses brought to light the heroistic tale of the Thunderwolf, everyone was forced to mold their opinion on Aleka. The elders, after collecting enough evidences, gave their final decision. After discussing it with all elders, we all arrive at this conclusion that the accused Aleka Gray did an act of bravery and selflessness. By risking her own life to kill a fire elemental wolf, she has earned our respect and adoration by doing so, but few good deeds cannot overshadow ad seriatim thousands of bad ones. We realize that she was not in control when she killed those innocents, but she was at fault as she didn't report to us the first time her wolf lost control. She revoked a section of werewolf penal code, and for that, she will be punished. Aleka was trying to show that she was not scared, but her insides were shaking with fear at every word the elder was saying. She dreaded her death like every other human being. Now that she knew Aaron loved her, she wanted to return him her love. She desperately wanted to feel how it felt like to be loved, to be cared, and to be showered with loving kisses and cuddles. She wanted to see her future with Aaron and have a happy family with him. And now, finally, after so long, when she was seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, she didn't wanted to close her eyes forever. On the other hand, Aaron wanted just one thing, and that was his mate's life. He was willing to have her by his side at any cost. He will fight with the entire world if he had to. Everyone was waiting for the next words to be said, which will pave the future of their kingdom. So, disregarding our prior decision and considering it void ab initio, we now evoke it, and as per our new judgment, Aleka Gray is hereby punished with an imprisonment of 1 year. After her punishment, she will be dropped of all the charges on her and will be treated equal. Before finalizing our decision, we all want our king to accept our decision and say his opinion on it. Aaron now knew that this decision was just. All he wanted to do right now was to engulf his mate in his arms, free her of all charges, and declare her his queen. But he knew good things will have to wait. He will have to accept her when every wolf has accepted her, and that would be possible only after her punishment has been served. Elders, with all due respect, I accept your decision. I also declare that 1 year from now, when justice is served, you all will have your queen standing by my side. Aleka Gray, Alistair King will be her name, and she will be bearing the royal mark of Aaron Alistair King. With this, I adjourn this meeting, and this rests the case of crimes committed by the Thunder Wolf. Everyone erupted with happiness on hearing this. Cheers could be heard all around. No one thought before entering the courtroom that such a judgment would be given. They thought they will find a beast, but they found an angel. They thought they will still hate this angel, but were forced to loving her. They thought what they knew was truth, but realized they all were lies spread by haters. This angel did not plead for her innocence, because this time everyone else pleaded for her. Her goodness was brought forward without her uttering a word. And maybe that's why it is said that actions speak louder than words. Everyone was happy to know that at last justice was served. They were happy to know that the veil of hatred was lifted from their eyes when they came to know of the truth. While everyone was sharing hugs and congratulating each other for having found their queen, Aaron and Aleka were looking into each other's eyes, knowing that this is their last meeting before they get to see each other after 1 year. This will be their last and longest separation, after which they will be united forever. Aaron held her hand in his and placed a gentle kiss on her knuckles, while looking at her eyes, which were flowing with tears of happiness. Unexpectedly, Aleka threw her body at Aaron, trying to give him a hug with the rigidness of her arms. Aaron held her tiny body in his arms and rubbed her back, trying to soothe her. Her tears were leaving wet marks on his shirt. They were interrupted when one of the guards spoke. "Apologies for my interruption, but, my lord, it's time to take the prisoner." They separated and looked into each other's eyes. "Aaron, take care of yourself while I am away. Don't worry about me, I'll be fine." Aaron smiled on realizing how selfless she actually was. She is the one who will be treated like a prisoner in a prison, and still she is worried about him, who will be living a king's life in his palace. "Stop sobbing like a child, Aleka. We are separating for just 1 year. After that, you will be in my arms again. Time will fly, and now give me that beautiful smile of yours that lightens up my dark world." Hearing him compliment her smile, she naturally gave him a full smile through her teary eyes and blushing cheeks. "Wow, Aleka, you truly are an angel." Aleka blushed 100 shaded deeper on hearing him compliment her again. "Promise me that you'll not stop loving me and will wait for me." Aleka asked, trying to secure her own insecurities of him finding someone better and prettier than her. "Sweetheart, if you have forgotten just few minutes back, I made you my queen, in that too in front of everyone, and I hadn't done it if I didn't intended to wait for you. Promise me, Aaron, just please promise me. I promise you with my life, Aleka Gray, that I will love you like no one has ever did till my last heartbeat. I promise that I will wait for you. I can't promise you anything forever, and I don't think anyone can, but I will promises you every now and everything I am." With this, Aaron placed a lingering kiss on Aleka's forehead, sealing his promise. They met for the first time under roaring thunder and piercing rain. They touched for the first time, feeling electric sparks and bounding chains. He was blinded by hatred, she was vivid with love. Both souls drifted further away when they were bound to be one. She was beautiful, just like a lotus flower, grown in the dirt of rogues and thorns. He was ferocious and powerful, just like a wounded lion in a battlefield at war. They met again by the hands of fate, but this time she became their savior instead of bait. He regretted his mistakes, but was too late. She had already lost her wolf who he could call his mate. She was insecure. But it was all gone when he embraced her under his security and care. She thought she was scarred, but he proved her wrong when he kissed those scars with love, adoration, and care. Some thought she was a beauty, some thought she was a beast. The revelation of truth made them realize that she was actually an angel sent for their peace. He marked her with his royal sign, he mated with her all night, he made her his, to make sure that indeed everyone knew that she was mine. Their love blossomed like magic in the air. And this was how Aleka Grey became a queen, to the king called Aaron Alastair. Bad times linger on, while good ones blur away. The 1 year in prison for Aleka felt like forever. But once the good times came, her memories of bad times got washed away. She was now at the highest rank given to any werewolf female. The queen. She was respected, loved, and adored by all. Some even raised her to the rank of their hero. She supported her king in all his unravels. They were considered the best king and queen any werewolf could wish for. Not only because of the justice they served, but also because of the love they had for each others. They were an epitome of the fact that love has no boundaries and is possible anytime, anywhere, with anyone, no matter you are a human or a werewolf. Their love showed the world that love goes beyond scarred arms and ugly marks. It lies in the eyes of the beholder who sees a hidden diamond even in a black rock. Their love showed the world that with time your patience may run out, but love won't. Love was, is, and will always remain, just like the moon in the sky. Moon and love are akin. They both have faults but are still a sight of beauty. During day or night, in light or in dark. They both may not be visible to the eye all the time but are always there. They may get veiled by dark clouds sometimes. They may flow down in the form of teardrops or rain. But in the end, the sky will clear, the night will arrive, and again moon will be visible to the naked eye. Even if it does not appear on a no-moon night, remember it is still there. The only difference is that you cannot see it, moon love tonight. Good time passes by in a blur. 7 years passed. And now after these many years, the love between Aleka and Aaron got shared. Confused? Well, don't be. See the present and you will get to know. Present time. So the Thunder Wolf gathered all the power left in her body and directed it towards the scary black wolf with those dangerous red eyes. The bad wolf got burned in his own fire, and this was how good won over evil. Aleka said while narrating the story to a small child, "Do you know the name of the good wolf?" The little girl simply replied, "The Thunder Wolf, Mommy." That was so simple. "No, sweetie, this was what people called her. I'm asking you her real name." The little girl made an ooh shape with her mouth, realizing what her mother was asking. Then, after thinking for long, she moved her head in a no. Her name was Ezra. The little girl's face held shock. "But Mommy, my name is also Ezra?" "Yes, because Daddy and Mommy named you after her. You are our angel, just like her." The little girl had a big smile on her face. She started jumping on the bed in happiness. "Yes, I am a hero! I am an angel!" Suddenly, the door opened. The little girl looked at her father standing at the door. She ran towards him and jumped in his arms. "How is my princess doing?" the king said, kissing her on her cheek. "Daddy, you know I am Ezra." "Princess, I know you are Ezra. What kind of a question is this?" The little girl creased her forehead in annoyance. "No, Daddy, I am the Ezra, the hero, the Thunder Wolf, the angel," she said with her eyes wide with excitement and happiness. "Ezra, come here. You are barefoot. At least wear your stockings or you'll catch cold," Aleka was saying while looking at her sternly. "Please, no. Mama." The little girl was stubborn as hell, and both the parents were aware of this. "Princess, let's play your favorite game," Aaron said. The little girl hugged Aaron's waist tightly and placed her tiny feet on each of his foot. "Hold on tight, princess." Aaron started walking towards the bed with her standing on his feet, her eyes closed in excitement and her face pressed against his stomach. Once they reached near the bed, Ezra jumped on the bed with her bare feet still warm, as they didn't touch the cold, freezing floor. Both Aaron and Aleka tucked her into her bed and laid on either side of her. Above her head, both of them held their hands, while their other hands were holding each of Ezra's tiny hands. "Mommy, Daddy, I will also save this world one day. But I am not strong enough. My friends are also much more stronger than me." Her excitement changing into sorrow with each word she was saying. "Princess, never say something like that. You are way more powerful than you think. And also, with us by your side, you are the most strongest person on this earth," Aaron said, making Ezra look at Aleka, asking if this was true. Aleka nodded, making Ezra hold the hands of her parents tightly. "Now go to sleep, sweetie. You need to revive your strength by sleeping." She immediately closed her eyelids and tightly held her parents' hands, assuring herself that the two pillars of strength were there by her side at each step of her life. With this assurity and strength, she drifted into sleep, entering her world of dreams, where she is saving this world from evil. Aleka and Aaron were staring at their angel with wide smiles on their faces. The angel sleeping in between them was the one who was born with their love and with whom they were sharing their love. She was a rare beauty with baby blue eyes of her father and jet black hair of her mother. She was a lineage to the royal blood of her father and the gene of Thunderwolf from her mother. Her head was to be adored with the crown of her father. She was a princess both by blood and heart. She was Ezra Grey, Alistair King. After Aleka's release, she was made the queen as the king fulfilled his promise. Aaron showered Aleka with his love each day. After 1 year, they had an angel enter their life in the form of Ezra. Aleka couldn't hold Ezra in her arms like a mother couldn't. She couldn't feed Ezra. She couldn't even feel how it felt to hold your child's hand. But Aaron was always there. Even after holding the responsibilities of his kingdom, he managed to take out time, and he was always there whenever Aleka needed him. He made her hold Ezra's hand. Aleka couldn't feel her, but Ezra could. He made up for everything, and everyone was living a happy life. "Aaron, I never thought I would be this happy. Thank you for everything, for this life, for Ezra, for your love, for this respect, for every single thing." They were looking into each other's eyes. Aleka's eyes held tears of happiness. "Akeka, I should thank you. You both are my life. Without both of you, I am nothing. You are my strength, my love. You both rule the kingdom of my heart, and I am happy to give my heart to you." "I love you," Aleka said, overwhelmed with emotions. "I love you too." Both were looking into each other's eyes when they heard a third person speak, who they thought was asleep. "I love you both," Ezra said, peeping out of her quilt. Aleka and Aaron both looked at her, and all three started laughing. Alas, all good things do have to come to an end. But this story doesn't end here. The sun had shined for a long time. Now, after 7 long years, those dark clouds were returning again. And these dark clouds overcasted their dark shadows when Aaron got a mind link. "Your Majesty, we are under attack." Little did anyone knew that this upcoming storm will turn their world upside down. Little did Ezra knew that the two pillars of her strength, which she held so tightly, will come crumbling down in this disastrous storm. Little did the werewolves knew that in next few hours their palace will remain same, but their king won't. The kingdom will withstand the storm. The walls of the palace will not break down, but the royal bloods will. Just like in a jungle, a lion's rule comes to an end when another lion defeats him. Akin to that, a king's rule on his kingdom was on the verge of collapse. Game will change, rules will change, players will change, priorities will change, power will change, revenge will change. But the only thing that will not change will be the resurrection of the Thunder Wolf. The end. Book 2, Resurrection.